you could see feet standing outside
my
of
door.
her door.
They actively would stand in front of my door to listen to my conversations on the phone.
The fucking apples! What? What do you mean? How's my TV working for you?
You know what? You can take your TV, shove it up your ass, and I'll bring my own. One day she told me to get off my phone in my own room. The trash can is missing. This is why I blocked you. Because you are stalking me like a psychopath.
YouTube persona.
YouTube persona.
Crazy.
What is up, guys? It's so hard to do with you in the car.
Do you want me to get out of the car?
No.
And do it, and then like at some point I just spawn into the video.
This is Kenzie. And Kenzie, while not physically there, she lived through it all.
In spirit.
Via FaceTime.
I was about to say, and phone calls.
calls.
Text.
Even while it was happening, there was a time that she was on the phone. But we'll get to that.
That happens in like month what? 4?
4? Yeah. A very, very long-awaited video from people that know me. But
Has been promised to people that know her.
I've been promising this video since November 2024.
Frankly, I think it might be earlier than November.
And this is about my roommates from hell. Yeah. Listen, I'm not one to air out. That's a lie.
We are the ones to beat a dead horse.
We're really petty, but this is a new level.
A new
level. This is gonna be from September 2024 to July 2025 of roommate hell.
Literally.
It is wild, and it starts from the first month in. And for their sakes and us not getting sued, we're going to use fake names for the 3 roommates that I live with. For context, it is a 4-bedroom townhome. I am the 4th person. And the 3 others, we're going to call one Oscar. Why are we calling them Oscar?
As in the Grouch.
We're naming them after things that we don't like.
We do like Oscar the Grouch. It just was so fitting.
It was just so fitting. Then we have Caitlin from Arcane, because fuck that bitch. We should call her Aubrey. I feel like Aubrey's a fucked up name.
Aubrey's your therapist's name.
Oh yeah.
We love Aubrey.
I was thinking of the other Aubrey, high school Aubrey.
Oh.
Yeah, double homicide.
I said Amber.
Amber.
Like,
But then poor Amber.
oh shit.
Shit.
A few moments later.
Alexa, right?
Yes.
Alexa. We're gonna call her Alexa. Alexa, Oscar, and Caitlin.
Yes.
The 3 biggest cunts in my life. Okay, where do we even start? How do we even start this?
I feel like background.
Hey everyone. I'm already crying.
I have a laptop here with notes.
Literally.
I made a timeline to
Google
protect myself.
photos.
Google photos of all my proof, text message conversations, all the above.
Literally.
Because I really wanted to protect myself. Just in case these lovely, lovely little girls wanted to come at me. I needed all my proof. And there was many times that I needed my proof. A little background. Caitlin and Oscar, I knew before we moved in. I met them my freshman year of college. And we went to a Taylor Swift Society meeting. And I met them there. From there, we hung out a lot spring semester of my freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was me and we'll call this girl Lily. It was Lily, Oscar, Caitlin, and me. It's gonna be really hard to use these names.
It's
I'm gonna
gonna be
accidentally
so
use the wrong
hard.
names and then have to bleep my mouth.
Literally.
And then they're like, oh my God, we're gonna move into this place on campus. Do you want to be one of our roommates? I was like, that sounds like so much fun. Little did I know, it would be the worst decision I've ever made in my whole life. Oh, shit, man.
And we chose to get wasted like all day on a fucking summer day.
We got
Like,
tequila wasted.
and this
on a
was
summer
a
day.
worse decision than that.
I woke up still drunk, and this was way worse than that decision. Little did I know.
Life could be worse. No, not really.
From the very beginning when we were friends, Caitlin has always been a little bit overbearing. If I had to describe her as a person, I'd describe her as
Are strong? No, I feel
transformative Barbie. I gotta adapt my personality to whoever is in the room, and I'm gonna tell them only what they want to hear. And I never pick sides. But we didn't see the red flags in the beginning. I was just like, oh, maybe she's just a different person from who I am. And me and Oscar used to meet up on campus. Oscar would have some things to say. Was like, hey, this move-in, she's stressing me out because she wants this. She's not considering our move-in stuff. I'm like, yeah, fucked up. And we'd sit there, but we'll get back to how long we sat there, when we sat there. From the beginning, there was a little bit of like, I don't want to say tension. The vibes were a little off with strictly Caitlin, but it was one of those overbearing things. So it wasn't that big of a deal at the time.
Yeah.
Like, we were all pretty confident moving in with each other. My stepdad was like, watch, it's all gonna fall apart. It's all gonna fall apart. Little did he know, he's a fucking psychic.
Little did we know, Brian was right.
Little did we know, he jinxed that shit. Like,
Oh, big time.
big time. He's not allowed to speak up anymore. Here comes move-in. And we get paired with this girl. What did we name her?
Alexa.
So we get paired with this Alexa girl. And we're like, she seems cool.
Sorority.
She's very sorority. And don't get mad. Don't get mad if you're in a sorority and you're like, we're not all like that. She's like that. She's the majority. She's the majority that people make fun of. If like there was like the stereotype of sorority girls, she fits that stereotype. But I was like, maybe she won't.
And now I'm bashful. I didn't know.
Maybe I should listen to every little alert going off in my head.
Seriously.
I feel like I need to start listening to that inner voice that's like, hey, maybe you're sensing this for a reason. Perhaps.
Maybe this is intuition.
Intuition. I'm gonna start listening to Kenzie and Brian more. Who said that? We moved in the 3rd week of August. Okay. This is right before things start to fall apart. We're in that honeymoon period. Everything's kind of okay. Like, we put up a Spider-Man cutout in the corner. We're
Seriously.
watching movies. We put up a Dylan O'Brien poster in the kitchen. It was all fun and dandy. Lily's coming over all the time. And Lily and Caitlin, this is really important. Lily and Caitlin were really close. They got really close over the summer. And of course, we're just meeting this new Alexa. And Lily and Alexa are getting along. I'm just thinking about it all again. Wow, what a weird time that was.
What a weird sound that was. Do you even know what that means?
Do you even know what fix it and post it? Oh my god, I fucking love has-been. I can't. Anyway, come August 28th, marked exactly on my calendar, the first issue begins there. And mind you, this is 2 weeks in.
I feel like, okay, for context, they had sat down and had agreements kind of like laid on the table. Boundaries and shit like that.
Right, like normal roommates.
Exactly. You know, talking about how your space has to be clean, yada, yada, yada. One of the things that they talked about was the rule when it came to having people over. You know, as you're sharing a space with 3 other people that you don't know that well.
Right.
So they come to the agreement that, like, if somebody's going to come over, especially if they're going to stay the night, it needs to be discussed and approved by all parties. Hence August 28th,
Yeah.
when this comes into play.
So Oscar goes, hey, my mom, out of nowhere, my mom's coming to stay with us. And we're like, okay, for 4 days. We're like, oh, is she staying at a hotel? No, she's staying here. Is that not weird? We all go, why? To her, it wasn't that weird. And you know what? Caitlin didn't think to warn us that this had happened because Caitlin and Oscar lived together the year before. Oh yeah, she used to do this a lot last year. She was like, my mom will come over and make dinner. I'm like, where is she sleeping?
Literally, your mom is inserting herself into 3 other people's lives.
And now we got to watch what we say. Alexa was particularly annoyed because Alexa had a thing about, because she has a med card, and she had a thing about weed on the fridge. Shit. And Oscar, sorry, I keep saying the wrong names. And Oscar, I think, asked her to put it away. It felt like a lot of like, we had to adjust our space for her mom to stay here for 4 days. And we're like, well, why can't she stay at a hotel like every other parent? Well, why would I pay for a hotel when I'm paying to live here?
Bitch.
Mind you, this is the same girl that I didn't know. This is my first time in college. I'm only a second generation college student, and my mom did not go to college.
Oh, we're falling.
Sorry, you're falling. Arizona sun is a bitch. We didn't know that you had to renew your loan, so I almost couldn't stay at college.
Yes.
And so I had a massive freak out with Oscar privately in my room about not being able to afford it. Like I had to get like a last minute loan from Sally Mae, and it was this whole ordeal. I'm just sobbing in my room to her about it.
Disney princess, who would you be?
Cinderella, because she broke, homie. She represent me, yo. Let me borrow $20.
Come to find, she is the most privileged motherfucker there is out there. If you're fortunate enough to have your parents paying for your college, that's great. If you're fortunate enough not to have to take out a loan, fantastic. Your lack of empathy towards people that do is what makes you a bitch.
Big time.
So when her mom wanted to stay with us and she was like, well, we pay rent to live here, I'm going to stay here. No, your mommy pays rent for you to live here. Your mommy does not live here at all.
And in their apartment dorm agreement, it also states that all parties have to agree
Right.
on this choice.
So we don't agree, but we're not trying to get all heated. Like in the moment, we're like, that's really like messed up. Didn't even tell us before. Like she's just coming. You didn't ask. That was a huge issue. You didn't ask for her to come. It's been 2 weeks. Why is your mom already staying with us for 4 days? It's the lack of communication and the inconsiderateness of like, oh, I pay to live here. Hence August 28th. August 28th is when we as roommates, me, Caitlin, and Alexa, we're all in Alexa's room. For context, if to get a layout of like what the place looks like, there's a living space, a kitchen, and then Alexa's room downstairs next to our in-unit washer and dryer. If you go upstairs, there is their bathroom, Caitlin and Oscar's shared bathroom, their bedroom doors, and my bedroom door. I have a bathroom in my room. That's kind of like the layout of the place. We're all downstairs, Oscar's upstairs, and we're all in the room kind of figuring out how do we come about this to tell Oscar that we're not comfortable with it. Like we're trying to like figure out what to say, how to go about it. And we realize that we don't want it to be through text. I wish that they stuck with that mentality because that becomes an issue. Don't we love girls and their phones and texting and group chat?
Just for the record, we are talking about this before to address an issue that we all have, not because one person had a problem and made it everyone else's problem. I just want to make that super clear.
Hey guys.
We love a good keyboard warrior.
We love a good keyboard warrior. We ask Oscar to come downstairs so we can have a conversation. And we're all sitting in the living room. If the frame keeps changing, it's because the camera keeps falling. We all sit down before her mom gets there. This is like a day before her mom comes over. Mm-hmm. And we're just discussing how it made us uncomfortable and expressing our concerns about the fact that she didn't ask us, etc. She listened. We asked if she had any input to say. We're trying to lay out new boundaries, and we're like, we're going to let it go this time. She can stay this time because it's like too late to change plans now. But going forward, we would like if you asked us and if it wasn't so long of a stay. Because everyone else's parents stay at hotels. Like,
yeah.
Mind you, her mom's going to be sleeping on her floor, if that's not weird enough. Like, if I had to give a definition to their relationship, it is the hovering helicopter mom that will not let her baby go to college.
Well, and like, she was pretty codependent on her mom as well.
Mm-hmm. There was a lack of consideration for her situation and ours. She only thinks of herself, which is super evident in the things that they say going forward. So the next day, this is when her mom is like on her way. Like her mom's going to be there today. So we go to class and we get a text. Caitlin gets a text from Oscar. We're all in the kitchen. Alexa, Oscar, and me. We're all in the kitchen after class making lunch, and Caitlin shows us this text. Oscar basically was like, I'm not good at expressing my stuff through words, but like, I don't know. I didn't really think it would be an issue. I see where y'all are coming from. Mind you, she could have said any of this last night when we all sat down and had a conversation, gave everybody the floor, agreed that we don't talk over each other, let everybody have a chance to speak. And we all agreed. We're like, do you have anything to like input? She had nothing to say. And then now she has a lot to say over the phone. And she was like, I definitely should have given more notice and explanation, but I also feel like it's not that big of an issue. Like, y'all can still do whatever you want, like downstairs and stuff, as long as there's no yelling, you know, like watching TV or whatever. Also, I don't know. I feel like since we are paying $1,000 a month for this place. I don't see reason as to why my mom would spend more money to stay somewhere else. I don't know. I just feel like she is just, she has just as much of a right because she has done so much for us. Like over 50% of what's in the house was purchased by her. Like, I really don't want this to be taken as entitled or rude or anything, but like, I'm just having a hard time seeing the issues. I don't know. Please let me know what you think. And I really didn't want to inconvenience anyone, so sorry about that.
As for the 50% of the appliances, their brother had just moved out of college, just graduated college. So they have things from their brother's
They already have the
living
stuff.
space. Exactly. And they have the money to buy new things. So throughout the summer before they started school, Oscar would be like, hey, I have this. Do we need it? Hey, I have this. Do we need it?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it was like, yeah, sure, we do need that. Sometimes it's like, no, I have my own. It's good. All offered.
It was all offered. It's not like we made them bring it. We didn't make them buy it. We had a Google Sheets of what everybody was bringing and trying to keep it even. Like, we all were like, hey, you bring the detergent, like a big thing of detergent. Hey, you bring a big thing of like dishwasher pods. It was pretty equal because everything that might have been expensive, such as the TV in the front room, they already had. And I had offered to bring one my mom wanted to get rid of. And if you want to get technical, because she has a shared bathroom, she's paying a lot less rent than me and Alexa because we pay a little bit more to have a private room and private bathroom. If you want to get technical, who has more of a share, it would be me and Alexa. But we're not cunts who think they have more than a quarter share of the apartment that you share with other people. It's ridiculous where that mindset came from. I'm not trying to be entitled, but that was the most entitled shit I've ever heard. Clearly drafted by your mother. That you did not have the balls to say the night before.
No.
Because you had to wait to consult your mommy to draft that text. And only to send it to Caitlin. Not to Alexa and me. Only send it to Caitlin. Because there's an ongoing theme of the fact that nobody wants to consult me. Because I'm going to tell you how it is. And I'm going to tell you you're being a dick.
Literally.
Everybody in that house was afraid. And I want to say afraid.
It kind of came off as afraid, or like, just maybe it was more like they
didn't know how to handle someone that wasn't a people-pleasing
exactly
bitch.
Like, kind of like,
I'm not
standoffish almost.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, they didn't want to be confronted. They wanted to be the confronter.
They don't want confrontation. They don't want someone that's going to disagree. They only want to come to you when they know that you're going to agree with them, and they want someone to back you up, evident in future things. So we're all like yelling, just heated in the kitchen after we see this text. And this is when Caitlin tries to start to defend Oscar, like, oh, I don't think she meant it that way. We're like, that's exactly how she meant it. That's what she typed. And we're like calling our parents. Our parents are just as upset. And they're like, then take all these things home. Like, we don't want them. If you're going to hold it over our heads, you don't have more of a say. You're paying money for you to live there, not your mommy to live there. And then her mom finally comes to the house, and it's freshly heated after seeing this. But we're like, you know what? If she can be respectful, we can be respectful, because that was already out the window from the moment her mom walked in the door. And the first thing she says, instead of, hello, how are you? Hi, girls. How's my TV working for you?
Mom's better have my money. Mom's better have my money.
What money? I don't have her money.
Swaggy Lee is in the house.
What the fuck was that? What do you mean? How's my TV working for you? That's the most entitled. You know what? You can take your TV, shove it up your ass, and I'll bring my own.
Literally. Asking how the fucking trash can they brought is.
Oh my God. It was a great opener from her mom. Great first impression.
Literally.
Great. So she brings a lot of groceries. Mind you, we just moved in 2 weeks ago, so there's already a lot of groceries, and there's very little room. I forgot to mention, her mom, move-in day, they were the first ones there, because they wanted to get a claim over which cabinet they got, etc. So Oscar got the biggest cabinet in the entire place. And there was no discussion. Like, we had all agreed that we're going to clean the kitchen together. Mm-hmm. And we're going to even up the space about who gets what to make sure everybody gets an even thing. Everybody got like a top pair of cabinets. Everyone got a lower pair of cabinets. I did not get a lower because no one asked me. And no one cared to consider. And you know how many Oscar got? Two. It reached the point where in the beginning I was like, it's fine. And then Oscar's mom came in and was like complaining to our building, like, you need to clean this oven, which I can get. But then she saw our fridge and she was like, there's dents on this fridge. She made them exchange the bigger fridge for this small fridge to share with 4 girls, all buying different things. She didn't consult any of the people that were actually going to live there what we wanted to do. She decided that's what we needed. She never asked us anything. Never asked us. So that, just going into it, that's the type of woman that she is. So she comes in with all these groceries, you know, the fridge that she switched out. If I had to give you, I probably have a picture of it. So we have a fridge and it has 2 racks and there's a freezer above, but there's only little 2 spaces for the freezer and like a shelf. And then inside the main part of like the fridge, there's 2 shelves. And then the other fridge had a clear shelving. It was not like the wires. It was a much better fridge. Who cares if it has dents on the outside? But no, we switched that out. And then it had 2 drawers. If there's 4 roommates in 2 drawers, are we gonna give one person a drawer? Take a guess. No! Like, obviously that's not fair. So we made the left drawer like cheese and stuff. And then we made the right drawer like vegetables. Like everybody can put all their share of things in there just so it's separated from everything else and not going to be contaminated. And she comes in and she opens the fridge. Which one's a drawer? So I believe not entitled to have her own space in the fridge. You know, like her Brita's taking up the entire fucking thing. It's fine.
Whole top shelf up here.
The whole top shelf. It's her Brita that she would get mad at us for using. When we asked, I was like, hey, I don't think it's nice to put in a bunch of Britas in the fridge because it takes up space. Can I use yours? And she had a big old issue about it. She's very particular. And, you know, Oscar's mom comes in and she's making dinner, apparently. And it's very tense. It's very tense. For everybody, you know, doesn't ask any of the people that live there. Invite Lily over. Lily can come over for dinner. Is this your house? Lily can come over for dinner. How about, hey, you guys should invite Lily over for dinner. Perhaps. You think you have a claim?
Nor was like, hey, what do you guys want for dinner? What sounds good for dinner?
Thank you for making us food. We're so grateful for your shitty food and your TV that I never used once because of other things.
This is shit TV anyways.
The pettiness of this grown woman. Mind you,
she's like in her what, late 40s?
She's got to be like her late 40s, early 50s. But either way, okay, this is just to give you that vibe, it's giving conservative. It's giving I voted for Trump. Like, that's the only way I can describe this woman. The type of woman to have happy home signs in her house.
Live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, love.
Wine hour in her kitchen.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Literally.
Anyway. She starts going over, instead of like, hey girls, I understand that there's some tension with me coming over, you know, like an adult thing to do. Or just not acknowledge it at all.
It should not have been acknowledged.
It shouldn't. She had walked over because we're not saying anything. We're being respectful. We're saying hi when spoken to. Like, we thanked her for dinner. She didn't have to make dinner. As much as I shit talk her fucking dinner, she didn't have to make it. Whatever. I didn't ask you to make it. She walks over to Caitlin, and Caitlin's by the sink. And she tells Caitlin a threat of, my husband's name is on the lease, so I'll come over if I feel like it. I'll take it up with insert the place where we live if I need to. Whispered it to Caitlin because Caitlin folds really easily to people please people. And she knows Caitlin. She whispered that to her. That is so immature. At this point, I'm so heated by the little comments and whatever. We all, Alexa and me, I'm so heated at this point that we all go on a walk. We go on a walk because we live next to the woods. So it's like, we gotta go.
I can feel some energy. Ooh, okay. It says we should get on the next flight back to LA right now.
It's me, Alexa, and Caitlin. And Alexa's on her phone with her mom. And I'm on the phone with my mom. And we're fucking just screaming in our phones. Oh, it is wild. My mom was like, I'll come down there. And so is like Alexa's mom.
We were all ready to fucking
fight this woman.
Come up and fight a bitch.
So much so that my mom, we wonder where I get my pettiness from. We wonder because my mom made an anonymous post. Universities typically have Facebook parents pages. It's for parents to ask questions, and usually it's really embarrassing questions. Like, has your kid not made any friends yet either? My mom made an anonymous post on there because whose mother's going to be on there other than Oscar's? Because, you know, Oscar's very like, I'm so part of like the community. Like she would be the type to be on that Facebook post. Apparently I don't have it. It was like one of the few things I didn't have. My mom made a post asking if it was normal. Basically explain the situation without using any names. Hey, it's kind of what we're doing. I wonder where I get it from. And basically asking if it was normal. And it was parent after parent after parent being like, that is some psycho crazy shit. I'd be so embarrassed if I was the kid. Yada, yada, yada. This was up for 24 hours. And I had ended up telling Caitlin about it. And Caitlin was like, your mom shouldn't have done that. And she's the type to defend Oscar. And I was like, okay.
She's the type to defend anyone.
Anybody. I think my mom ended up taking it down because she didn't want to cause more issues. She's like, sorry, I don't mean to create more issues for you guys. Whatever. It is what it is. Like, so I noticed at the point, because her mom's going to be there for 4 days. We're getting into it. And I'm trying not to showcase my anger. I'm trying not to take it out. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best at this point. But I can see that Oscar knows I'm mad because that stupid silent stare, guilty eyes. I was doing a thing where I was perfectly not talking to Oscar because I knew I couldn't talk to Oscar without being like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I was genuinely so upset with Oscar that I was like, it isn't both of our best interests if I don't talk with you right now. Oscar knows I'm mad. Thank you. Because she's doing that stupid silent stare. I don't really care to make eye contact with her in the moment. Whatever. Caitlin privately, because Caitlin's communicating with both us and Oscar.
Caitlin likes to play middleman through every single argument, confrontation, talk, anything. Even if it's not confrontational.
Be perceived as the bad guy in anybody's eyes.
No.
So with us, she has a huge issue with it. She's like, it's so ridiculous that Oscar's doing this. I'm so uncomfortable with this. But then Oscar will shed a tear. And she's like, but Oscar, say, we're not actually mad at you. And then to us, oh my God, that was so fucked up to do. And then plays that middleman role.
And then tries to defend Oscar at certain points and shit like that.
It's just weird. Like, I don't know. Or Caitlin was talking to Oscar and was like, we need to have a talk when your mom leaves. And Oscar basically said, I don't want to. And I wrote in all caps, welcome to adulthood where you have to talk out your problems.
Literally.
You can't just not talk about it. Like, we're waiting for your mom to leave so we can have a talk.
Yeah.
Not with your mom.
Offered to have a conversation with her mom.
Yes.
With her mom present.
Exactly.
As an almost 20-something.
I want to be so clear in what I didn't discuss because of ADHD in this video. What Kenzie was pointing out is so important because I had asked her to have that one-on-one conversation. She genuinely wanted her mom to be there for our one-on-one conversation. She wanted her mommy as support to be there for the one-on-one adult 20-year-old conversation. Are you guys grasping that? Because I fucking can't. It is safe to say that I told her to piss off. I think that is the only time I've asked her for a one-on-one conversation, and then we never had one because that is how she views life. She is so incapable.
Oscar at that point was trying to keep her mom out of the house. So she would so they weren't really like in the house much, like they were always upstairs. She would bring her mom to work. She'd bring her mom to class. She brought her mom everywhere.
Yeah.
Is that not weird? How the hell did you bring your mom to work? Why would you bring your mom to work? Why would you bring your mom to class?
Why would your mom stay that long when you have those things to do?
Why
Like,
not
if
come
she
for a
came-
weekend?
Exactly. Weekend. Like maybe if it was like a 3-day weekend.
It was weird. And Alexa and Caitlin, we all agreed it was weird. And then apology text came out because, mind you, Oscar can't communicate through face-to-face conversations.
No.
So Oscar sent apology texts to everybody. And I can't tell you what was said in these apologies because I didn't get one.
Yeah, JK. Absolutely fucking not. You better just be kidding because there is no...
I didn't get an apology.
He's lazy, no good, don't do nothing, always hanging out, talking trash. I'm calling you out, bitch.
So because of this, I reached full bitch mode. I used to go to the gym at 8 a.m. because I didn't have time to go anytime. And I I would go to the gym, and I came back one time, and her mom was at the front door. And I have my headphones in, and I hate that woman. And if you're not going to respect me, I'm not going to respect you. Like, respect your elders.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Not
if
how we
you're
were
going to walk
raised.
into my living space and treat me like that, fuck you. So when I walked through the front door, ignored the hell out of her, and then I go right upstairs, and I lock my fucking door. I think I slammed it. Probably.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Fuck that bitch. August 30th. So I basically texted Oscar, and I was like, hey, when your mom leaves, can we have a one-to-one conversation?
Yeah.
And that's all I said. I didn't bring up the issues. I didn't start being a keyboard warrior. I asked if we could have a face-to-face conversation. Safe to say that face-to-face conversation never happened. From that day, August 30th is the day that I said, can we get a CA involved? That was the first time I said we need a CA to help us solve our issues.
Just a mediator.
Just a mediator. To be someone in the middle. To help us solve our issues, lay out boundaries. Nobody else agreed to have a CA. My mom emailed for me. I did not ask my mom to do that. Basically being like, hey, what's the rules about this?
Yeah.
And Kenzie explained the rules earlier. And then they had offered to have a CA involved. And my mom was like, let me know what you think. A CA called me, asked me if they wanted a CA there. I had asked Alexa and Caitlin. Oscar, I wasn't talking to Oscar, and Oscar was not talking to me. And nobody wanted a CA involved. They're like, we're not there yet. And I was like, okay. Which is the irony come, what, December? So I don't remember exactly what I had been doing, but I remember walking inside, and Lily has an electric scooter. And so I see that Lily's there. Or she had asked Oscar what she was doing, and Oscar told her that she's helping her mom pack her stuff up and that everyone hates her. Like her mom said that. Everyone hates me. Are you 14? But you're right, we do. We could have been civil if you hadn't walked through the front door with a fucking attitude and a superiority complex of I own this place and you guys are just living with my daughter and you guys are just space to fill to help pay the bills. Because that's how you came in.
Yeah.
Narcissism by Raquel.
Her mom leaves like a day early, I think. And I was like, thank God we're free. Me and Alexa are like, phew! Bitch is gone. Then the August 31st, so no one's there. And we're all trying to plan a roommate meeting. We're having a roommate meeting.
Yes.
So all of us are in the living room and it's tense. And it's the middle of the night because we had things to do that day. We have this long conversation of boundaries, what bothered us. Everybody's going to need a turn to talk.
Also worth mentioning in this conversation is that Oscar had specifically called me out to say that I disrespected their mother with the way that I completely ignored her and then slammed the front door, slammed my bedroom door. And to which I said, I treated her with the same respect that she treated me when she walked through the front door and said, how's my TV working for you? Where is your drawer? In the same respect that I got when I basically was told that I'm just paying rent for you to live here as well as your mom. She didn't have much to say after that, safe to say.
Basically, I had said everything I needed to.
I speak for the trees. They said your mom's a bitch. I'm joking.
Everybody had gone through everything they needed to say. And we had explicitly said, do you have anything else to say? Because once this conversation's over, it's not getting brought up again.
Yeah.
So say what's on your chest now, and I better not get a fucking text about it. Basically, she was like, I don't see why it's such an issue. Can we compromise? And this is the first time we made a compromise. And I think it's very important to establish that we compromised for her. She was like, this is really important to me. I'm like, okay, but everyone else's parents stay in a hotel. She's like, I understand that, but so she doesn't have any money. Clearly, your mommy has money to pay your bills, but whatever. We come to the compromise that her mom can stay with us one time a semester, and she has to ask. Safe to say, her mom never came over again.
Nope.
Bless! Whoa, free cheers! We're never gonna see the Wicked Witch again. Just her spawn. Then comes September. Here we go. Day to day is going by, and I would like to establish how I am as a person where I live. I think it's important context because they failed to grasp it. So I trust that you guys can in the 20 seconds it's gonna take to explain. They never did. However many times I fucking explained it.
Nope.
Hey, if I come home and I'm not like, hey guys, how are you? What's going on? Like, what was your day?
Hi, Barbie.
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 Hi, Ken.
We're not crazy bubbly. It was just a long day. Yada, yada,
We're
yada.
here for school. We live in the same house. So it's not like coming to your friend's house. We just live in the same house and we're friends. It is okay to come home and not be bubbly. I would come home straight faced, hi if they spoke to me, or sometimes I just go upstairs.
Yeah.
They would constantly text me. They wait until I'm upstairs in my room and then they would ask me, are you okay? I get a text. Are you okay? Are you okay? If I had a nickel for every fucking time I got an are you okay text, I'd have
no student loan.
I wouldn't need a student loan. It's okay. You don't need to ask me how I am.
No.
It's okay. We just live in the same house.
And that got explained too.
Yes. Before we lived together, they knew who I was as a person. And if you had to describe how I am on day to day, how would you describe me? I don't like that face.
I don't know, because we have a different relationship than everybody else. Like,
This is true. But like if it was like
mellow.
mellow.
It's just neutral. There is no like, you don't come in stomping, you don't come in pissed off, and you don't come in loud and cheerful, or like, hi everyone. Like, you just come into the house as you come into the house.
We don't always need to talk about our day. I just came back from a long day of class.
Exactly.
My battery's drained. Like, it's just how it is. That's what you expect. No, they didn't want that. Alexa and Caitlin and I had a talk. And they were bothered that I, quote unquote, extend my emotions to the house.
Huh?
And I had to explain that I don't realize I do, because I'm trying to be understanding. I'm trying to be understanding. Like, maybe I don't realize I do it. Come to realize they're just cunts. So I had to explain that I don't realize I do it. Just say something to me. If I'm unintentionally giving you like an attitude I'm totally not meaning to, say something. I'm not gonna get mad, but don't get mad. Talk to each other and never tell me. You can't tell me, otherwise I don't know I did anything wrong.
Just because it's a running trend.
A running trend.
Like, track star trend.
And I quoted, they worded it as, sometimes you get passive, like one word answers. Sometimes it feels like we walk on eggshells. We know after we ask, it's not about us, but to us, still. That makes sense? Like, they've already asked and I'm like, I'm fine, it's not about you. And they're like, but still.
They feel like you're being passive aggressive and like, it's fine, it's not about you.
I'm not allowed to have emotions. That's not happy.
Exactly.
Like, if I'm having a bad day, and mind you, I'm not the only one that does this in the house, but I don't take it to heart. There's some days when you just want to put headphones on and be in your own bubble, but God forbid you do it in this house. God forbid. You live with each other. It's not a constant friend time. But I criticize back that if I had a problem with them, I tell them. I'm not passive for no reason. If I'm being passive, there's a reason. If they have a problem with something, I said or did say something to me, not each other, to me. Don't just be like mad off to the side and talk about it with each other. And then to you, I put it, this is when I started getting Kenzie involved. I texted Kenzie and I was like, you know, because I had tried to take the criticism in the beginning. In the beginning, I was like, okay, yeah, I guess I can see that. But then I thought about it. I went to class. I let it sit. And I texted Kenzie and I literally said, quote, I've been thinking a bit about it and I accept the criticism I got. I really do. I also admit fault. However, doesn't everyone kind of project? Yeah. Like, the insinuation here is being happy-go-lucky all the time, regardless if I'm miserable or want to cry. You don't have to check up on me. I'm not asking you. Like, they made it as if they have to go check up on me when I'm upset. Yeah. That it's becoming a burden that they have to check up on me. I didn't ask you to check up on me. You don't have to ask me if I'm okay.
You're not walking through the house.
No, I just go to my room. I live in my room.
You're not coming in slamming doors. You're not coming in
like somebody else. I was like, but I feel like everybody kind of does that. If I'm being a bitch, tell me and I'll correct myself. But saying that one word answers and being passive on a bad day, like I can't be happy all the time. And anytime you've asked me, I told you it has nothing to do with you. I guess it just doesn't make the most sense to me to a certain extent when Caitlyn literally told me the other day that she was upset with a lot of things and not just me. So she technically did the same thing because she was slamming things in the kitchen, had her headphones on, ignoring me, doing the exact You're extending your emotions to the house, Caitlyn. That's not allowed.
Apparently.
Oh, Hope knows we're filming. I posted filming the roommate video tonight.
So funny.
There's this dynamic I've noticed in the house. This is relevant because it leads to future drama. And girls love their drama. Lily gets really close to Alexa. And Caitlyn does not like that. And I'm just trying to vibe with everybody. And so in turn of Alexa only wanting Lily in pictures, only posting Lily, like new roommates, mind you, Lily doesn't live with us.
She's not a roommate.
Lily's not a roommate. So of course me and Caitlyn on the couch one night, like we were watching like whatever movie, and Caitlyn was like, maybe we're just ugly.
Oh my god, I remember that.
All I want is just one day a year where I'm not visually assaulted by uglies and fatties.
Like, remember like how Alexa would only take photos with Lily and would only post Lily and wouldn't post us?
I do remember.
And I didn't really take it to heart until it became a thing of only leaving me out. And then I was like, oh my god. Caitlyn, so Lily and Alexa are kind of leaving out Caitlyn. So Caitlyn's trying really hard to compensate for being left out. So in turn, I don't exist. And Oscar has a job, so Oscar's at work all the time. Oscar's at work or school all the time. We don't see Oscar. Oscar shouldn't even be part of this story.
Should not.
Should not.
Had literally no right to be talking.
Zero. You're never
at
home.
any point. And even if they were home, they were asleep.
In their room.
In
like,
their room.
Playing video games. Like,
hence Oscar the Grouch.
Hence Oscar the Grouch. So in turn, I was like, we made that joke of like, maybe we're just ugly. But then we like really sat in. We're like, this is what we meant by, is this fucking play about us? Caitlyn's trying to take it to heart.
That is so fetch. Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen.
And then I was like, to be honest, out of sorority girls, I'm probably not like, I don't fit that sorority girl vibe. So I kind of just accepted it. Caitlyn took it really hard. I was like,
if she thinks I'm ugly, then she thinks I'm ugly.
If she thinks I'm ugly, like, next, fuck. At least I'm not paying for my friends, but who said that? Like, I'm joking. So she's doing all this sorority stuff. Lily is basically ditching Caitlyn, and Lily doesn't realize because Caitlyn's not communicating. It's whatever.
I feel it's worth mentioning that in between all of this, there are good times that I'm just leaving out and just going straight to the bad, specifically because this video is already long enough. But there are times in between that are really good. Not everything's always bland and I go straight upstairs. I just mean I'm not always smiley and ready to hang out. But that does not mean every day I come into the house as a Debbie Downer. Especially after class or a hard day, like anyone, I just want to go upstairs. But me and Oscar still do trips to McDonald's, and me and Caitlyn would go hiking, and we all went to this 2000s party downtown and got dressed and wore sashes. So it's not all bad, but it's one of those situations where the bad outweighs the good. Okay.
At that point, I decided because of all the drama, it was just the air between it. It was feeling like I was not acting myself. I was carrying a lot more than I should have about this dynamic because Alexa was posting this photo of her and Caitlyn and Lily at some point because Caitlyn had complained about not being included. And it was this whole ordeal. And I was like offended because they didn't. Whoa. We realized this whole time the air has been on. Fuck! Okay, we had to adjust because it keeps falling. Yay! I was in this really weird spot where I was carrying a little bit too much. Like I was like getting in this headspace of them. And I was like, I need to take a few days to myself. I stayed at my room. I didn't really talk to anybody. I didn't come at them with any issues, nothing. Just was alone for a little bit. They did not like that. God forbid!
They didn't like anything.
Turns out people don't like it when you turn your phone off for a few weeks and tell them to fuck off and don't bother me with bullshit I don't care about.
So Caitlyn came to my room on September 14th and we had a heart-to-heart. Basically, we talked about how I've been pulling away and I explained why. And it was a 2-hour, I think, long conversation. And she asked me where I was at. She's like, that makes a lot of sense. That was like a thing. That's a common theme. When she finally asks, what's your side of the story? She goes, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I'm like, maybe if you had asked me first.
Almost like I did it for a reason, and I didn't just do it to just do it.
It's almost like if you had just asked me before consulting everybody else and causing all these issues wouldn't exist. The 15th. Alexa wants to go to the woods for a frat mostly frat. A frat party thing.
Seriously.
It was the most sketch thing I've ever heard of.
Wanted to go to a bonfire.
I mean, illegal things.
Literally in the middle of the woods.
In the middle of the woods, illegal things. And she asked Caitlin to drive her. Mind you, Caitlin does not have a car there, but Alexa does. And Alexa constantly asks Caitlin to drive her car to take her to places like parties and whatever. And Caitlin just agrees because she wants everybody to love and like her.
Specifically Alexa.
So we go. I remember taking videos. I could stitch in videos here if I have them. It might be in my Instagram archive.
Guys, we're in the woods.
We're falling. I'm hopping the whip right now. Hop this whip.
It's off path. Like, we have to get stuck. There's a bunch of frat guys in front of us. Alexa and Lily are just gonna go walk with him. They know one guy there. This guy. What was his name? What should we call him?
I thought whatever Fling's name.
Well, we should call him like one of the Love Island guys. Ace. We'll call him Ace. And Ace, he's your typical frat guy and uses Alexa for sex. And she knows this, but she's not ready to admit it. We're telling her. We're like, hey girl, know your worth. And she's like, but he loves me. And then proceeds to sleep with other people. So Ace is the one that invited her to this party. And Lily goes with. And we don't feel like it's the safest situation because it's a bunch of guys that they don't know. They wanted her to get into the car and sit on top of all these strangers' laps in the back because it was so full to get to the campsite. Her car was not going to make it, so they had to walk with these men. And we're like, hey, call us if something's wrong. Please turn your locations on. This is back when I gave a shit about what happened to them. They go. Me and Caitlin are worrying the whole time. We go back, and Caitlin the whole time is explaining how she thinks she hates driving Alexa everywhere. Like, it's so annoying. She feels so unsafe, like, taking her to these places. Like, she's so annoyed with Alexa, right? Oscar, because Oscar comes home from work, Caitlin and me, and we're all sitting in, like, the corridor upstairs, and we're talking about how, like, annoyed we are with it. We're like, this is not okay. I said, no, honestly, I'm kind of over it. I think I think it's, as roommates, me and Alexa can just stay roommates. I don't think I really want to be friends with her. I think we're gonna have this mutual agreement of like just keeping our distance. If you guys want to be friends with her, that's fine. Like, that's not how it was worded, but that's basically what was said, if that makes sense. Yeah. From my end, at least. I couldn't recall the entire conversation. But then in comes a call from Alexa and Lily, or I think just from Lily, about how the police showed up, having to hide their vapes, all the above. And we're just like, hey, you probably shouldn't be there. And eventually wanted us to come pick her up. It's like midnight. And Caitlin the whole time was like, this is so annoying. And Alexa calls, sobbing on the phone about how Ace invited other girls, not just her, and whatever. She's like, I just don't want you guys to think that I'm stupid. You're not stupid. And then hangs up. God, she's so stupid. But no, I'm the shit talker. I totally forgot. There was a conversation had between me and Alexa right before they left for the woods. Alexa pulled me into her room. And this is when we came to our agreement. She's like, hey, the vibes are off between us. What's going on in your head? And we had a heart-to-heart conversation about how we need to not take things to heart and how there's no problem unless you say so. We made that agreement. Oscar and Caitlin are aware of I'm neurodivergent and I'm in therapy for things. They know I'm in therapy and it's cool. It's whatever. Alexa knows about it. I brought it up in the conversation. I said, hey, because of this, I'm a certain way about these things. Like, this is a lot about my personality, etc. She's like, yeah, I totally get it. Like, I was in therapy too once. Like, I totally understand where you're coming from. Total understanding, right? Right, for sure. Then they go to the woods. September 17th. Kenzie's gonna give a summary of the text and I'll put the text over my face.
So basically, she tells her that she's been feeling like ignored and that Mick's been like passive aggressive towards her. You know, she acts differently and seems more interested in conversations with
and it's been
Oscar.
4 days.
Do you understand we are 4 days in?
4 days since the last conversation they had about how they don't need to be best friends And if there's a problem, they'll bring it up. No, it's saying how they're upset, how they feel that they're being treated differently than Oscar and Caitlin and Lily. Oh, talking about how, like, they share a class and they walk to class together, but, like, this time they didn't.
She was
waking up. Literally.
I didn't send her a text of, like, I'm going to class, man. If you're not out of your bedroom at a certain time, I'm going to assume that you slept in and you're not going, so I'm just going to go to class. I'll meet you there.
Exactly.
I want a seat. It's a really big class. But no, it's not allowed.
No. Basically brings up, you know, how they talked about before. If you have a problem, you should address it. And she's saying how, like, she doesn't know what she did, and brings up again how if there's a problem, there's not a problem unless something gets said. She says that she feels like she's being very inclusive and respectful. Says that Nick's blatant disregard as of recent has not felt good.
It's been 4 days, and mind you, we agreed that we don't need to be best friends. We can just be roommates. That's what we discussed in that room. I have not been blatantly rude. I've just been day-to-day, but they already have an issue with my day-to-day life.
Yeah.
They don't like how I am as a person.
No.
I can't go to class without walking with her because she's late to get out of her room. So she's sending this text because she was 20 minutes later to class than me. She sat in front of me in this class. It's a big old auditorium, goes down like that. Sending this. So I'm reading it and she's in front of me. And so I'm fuming in the middle of, like, the professor lecturing about, like, cinematography.
Bitch.
This is making me mad again.
Literally. It's like bringing
the memories back. And she's in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in front of her. Mick's response is basically like, I'm not ignoring you. You know, just walk to class because I thought you were asleep. Talking about how she came out of the room at 9 last time. You know.
And then it was past 9. I was like, I guess she's not going.
Exactly. Explain how they don't vibe as well as Mick and the other people in the house. Literally reiterated, we just talked about this.
We just had a conversation that if we don't say there's a problem, there's no problem. And she can't handle that.
No.
No.
She feels like there's a problem.
And it has
her
to be
response was talking about how next time you can always ask. You know, but you aren't obligated.
So then why are you mad?
It was weird.
So why are you mad?
Talking about how when they're around each other, feels like they're being ignored, and that Mick's body language is as if they're upset. And then says, but if you don't see that and don't have an issue with me, it's fine. I'm just pointing out the behavior I have noticed personally and how it's made me feel the past few days.
If there's no problem, there's no problem. Let's not bring it up. Let's maybe stick to our fucking words.
And who set that system up?
But in the future, if there is any issue with me, just flat out tell me. Again, Mick reiterates that there is no problem. There was never a problem.
I was like, there is nothing to tell you.
Exactly.
What are you digging for?
Not trying to give you any body language, nothing, whatever.
So reply. Okay. Okay, perfect.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Reiterates. I just bring it up because the last few weeks you had texted me beforehand.
Oh, these past few weeks, mind you, it's only the 3rd week of class, I think, maybe 4th. This is a 1 week a day, 1 day a week class. So we've only gone 3 times. And I don't think we even went with each other one of the times because she was sick. These past few weeks, girl, we've been to class twice together. There is no system. There's no system. What are you talking about?
Be nice. I'm finding it.
She needs a drink of water after. We read the text before we summarize it.
A fucking paragraph. What a novel.
She drafted the novel.
I know.
I sent her these and we would draft them together.
I was just the
I'm like,
writer.
Tell me this. I want to say it this way, but make sure I don't sound like a cunt. She's like, I got you. Let me cook. She's my editor. She's my PR team. Like,
literally. Can't have us going out in the wild looking stupid.
Right.
Okay, so this is about 2 hours later.
Yeah. I take a breath. I'm mad. So
yes.
We're out of class.
Basically reiterates everything that got said in those first couple of texts.
I'm an introvert.
Need to talk. I'm an introvert.
My battery drains.
You know, didn't talk to anybody yesterday.
We discussed all of this on Saturday.
She didn't fucking talk to me that day.
Yeah, I didn't talk to anybody that
literally
day.
all the time.
It was one of those days where you just need to recharge and be by yourself. I didn't talk to anybody.
It's how she doesn't need to wear her emotion on her shirt. and doesn't need to talk to everybody, that's a different emotion though. Or need to be in the mood. They don't have to do it. Why should she? Alexa's relationship with Lily can be totally different than Mick's relationship with Oscar.
It's okay.
You just have different relationships with different people.
I'm gentle parenting her into explaining this of like, it is okay to not all be besties.
Exactly.
But you don't understand that because you're paying for your friends.
Yeah. And also talking about how, like, just because, you know, she's not in the mood to talk, it's not personal and it's not a passive thing. You don't want to do the same shit. Why force to be around each other if you don't want to do the same shit?
We don't have to do the same things.
Agreeing with it. If you're not having fun on both parties,
you just go upstairs, go to your room. Like,
exactly.
I should be able to walk in the kitchen and make a sandwich without having to be like, hi!
Exactly. You don't care about my day. I really don't care about yours.
I really don't care.
Totally fine. It's fine. You're just neutral. Alexa has not been treated differently, has not been ignored.
I literally took her to the woods on Saturday.
Literally took her to the fucking woods on Saturday, saying how, like, they're reading into it.
Just, like, you're overthinking this. There is no issue and you're making an issue.
And then literally says, I'm not bringing this small disagreement to the rest of the roommates as it's between us. Which is important.
It's between us, not the other roommates. Don't bring it up to anybody else. I said this is the last we're doing this. Yes. We're not bringing this up. We've talked about it.
Basically agrees, you know.
And then
sounds good. And then
she doesn't know when to shut up.
To backhand it all and flush it down the drain. She goes, wasn't trying to point fingers or accuse you, was just expressing my side point blank without leaving confusion. But you're right.
Nobody was confused but you.
We are good, and I agree. I don't want to bring it up to anyone anymore.
Great. I'm glad we're still on the same page. Finally. But we're really not.
Nope. Never once were they on the same page after that.
I think it's important to note, putting the date right here. I went home for the weekend, September 19th to the 22nd. Okay? We're going to date that. And we're going to note all the dates I went home, all right? This is when the big things start.
Hey, I found the pool cues.
September 24th, Caitlin tells Oscar Oscar's going to move out.
Yes.
Me and Caitlin were at the gym, and Oscar had been telling Caitlin that they're going to move out when our lease is up because they want to live in a single apartment so they can have their mommy spend time with them for next year. We're like, great. Love that for you. Okay, that just shows love adulthood for you, sweetheart. I wrote that suddenly ignoring around this time. I think they started ignoring me randomly around this time.
Yeah. Started to, like, slowly be left out of things, like,
yeah,
not invited to things, or if they were doing something, like, downstairs, it kind of, like, didn't necessarily include me.
Mind you, like, in between all these problems, there was times where we would watch a movie downstairs.
Yeah.
There was times that we would all cook dinner downstairs. There are still good things happening in between these arguments. It's not just bad, bad, bad. So that's the only reason I was, like, rubbed wrong. I was just it was a sudden silence, as if trying to be like, well, if you're going to be quiet sometimes of the day, we're going to ignore you at all times of the day.
Yeah. And it, like, even though you and Alexa didn't really have much of a relationship,
we were still respectful.
You and Caitlin did.
Me and Caitlin did. Me and Oscar did, but Oscar was constantly...
That one was off and on, yeah.
That was off and on. So, September 26th, they're both film majors. Alexa and Caitlin are film majors.
Yes.
They will film in our house. And it's a college town, so it's not the best built. It's not the most soundproof. And they would constantly film at our place, and they would ask of the roommates to just be quiet. And in the beginning, I was super like, yeah, 100% agree. One of the days Alexa was filming there, I was starting to get really irritated with how they were doing it, because Alexa would, hey, I'm filming. Like, Caitlin and Alexa were both very like, hey, I'm filming today. And then remind us over text. And we have a group chat.
Mm-hmm.
Remind us over text, remind us in person. Be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. We're like, I heard you the first time. But, so I'm in my room. I'm on a chair. My TV's on the wall, and I have a chair, my reading chair. I put the chair, and I'm sitting on my chair with, like, I think maybe pizza rolls. I'm watching Transformers Prime. I know exactly what I was watching when this occurred. My TV's not very loud. They're filming downstairs. And then I dropped my phone because I was reaching behind me because it was on the charger. I dropped my phone, and it was loud for a moment because I dropped it. I pick it back up, keep watching. Immediate text from Alexa.
No hesitation. There was legit no hesitation.
We're filming. Can you be quiet? It was an accident, bitch. And then it took me the week of October 2nd, starting with the 1st. I was asked in the kitchen to be quiet. I said yes. I was going through a major depression this week. It is very hard being in college away from your friend. It is very hard to live in such an aggressive household where you get no breaks from the drama. I was going through my own things.
Yeah.
And I had a day where I literally went out for a walk to get out of the house because I was just in this depressive episode. And I had told Caitlin, because I was like, hey, I'm not going to class. I'm going to have therapy today instead. I'm not feeling the best, but whatever. Because
literally scheduled last minute therapy appointment.
They want me to go around like a sim. Hey guys, I'm so sorry. I'm feeling sad today, just so you all know. Like, that's what they want from me.
Just so you know.
Just so you know. Just so you know, I'm sad today. Just so you know, I'm happy today. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you my moods. I'm not going to be outwardly a dick to you, but it is not my fault.
No.
You don't have to check in on me. I have to check in on you. I was very depressed that day. I come home instead of like, hey, Michaela, can you be quiet tomorrow? We're filming tomorrow. I've already received a text about it, so I was already kind of mad that she's saying again. Caitlin has said this again. And I'm just sad and I don't want to cry. So I just say yes. I don't say anything else. I'm like, okay. I say it like in a quiet tone. My head's down because I don't want to cry. I'm just making dinner and I want to go up to my room, cry, and go to sleep.
Just a little quick reminder that the agreement that if people are going to be over,
you have to ask.
Projects are going to be done, you have to ask in advance.
There was another text come October 2nd about filming and another. And I was just mad and sad. So I went to the movies because I didn't want to be in the house. This is when Transformers 1 came out. So I went to go see Transformers 1 again because I needed to feel better desperately. So I left for the movies at 6 o'clock. The movie didn't start till I think 8. I left, or like 7:40 or something like that. I left. I went to Dutch Bros. I like sat in the parking lot for a while. I was there before the previews and like the ads on in the movie. I was there before that. And I sat there. I was on my phone reading like AO3 and the things came on. I think there was like maybe 3 other people in the theater. Like it had been out for a minute. And I was like, I'm just going to watch it again. And you know what? It worked. It made I felt better. Because I love Transformers 1.
That might have been like the second time or third time you saw it.
Yeah. Took a photo of like the cutout. I was like, Transformers. Like it just made me feel better after a really, really hard few days. I don't come home. I stay through all the credits. I stay for the after thing. And then I take a minute coming home because I'm on my phone. And I don't get back until 10. And they're still filming! Yay! I opened the front door. I didn't say anything because she had asked, hey guys, if you're going to come back inside, can you text because we're filming in the front room, just text before you come in. It was 10 o'clock at night. So if you live with other people, why would you burden your roommates by having people over for a fucking project and we have to walk on eggshells around you?
For 4 hours.
Oh, sorry. Walk on eggshells around you, which is their issue with me, apparently. It's been 4 hours. It's 10 o'clock at night. So I didn't think about knocking because I should be able to go in my home at 10 o'clock at night. Open the door. It hits the TV because they had the TV in front of the door. And Caitlin was like all annoyed that I came home to my house. They're all still filming. The whole like front room is rearranged. And I'm like, so I go upstairs. I don't even say, I'm like, sorry. I go upstairs. Immediate text to Kenzie. This is when I decided, this is when this became an idea. Because
Literally.
I was filming, everybody on my private story on Instagram got like updates. These guys.
Whoever said roommates are fun was fucking lying. Everyone was like, roommates are the best time. You're living with your friends. Say that lie again. Kenzie's ready to shave heads. I've gone nonverbal. I've left to go watch Transformers because I did other side things. And I come back and even you know how Aubrey, my therapist, she agreed with me. She has full confidence in telling me when I'm wrong, okay? She calls me out hardcore. I want to know the bliss it's like to go about your day and to only think about yourself. It's crazy. I went to go see Transformers to make myself feel better. And you know what? I did. I was vibing to Rio on my way back home. And now I'm back. And I'm like, listen. And if you don't have the lore since August, you're probably like, Michaela, if you have a problem with all 3 of them, then aren't you the problem?
wait, it's 3 separate problems. Okay, we have mama's best friend over here who wants her mom to stay the night every fucking 4 nights, okay? And we're all like, no. And then we have this sorority girl who just wants to drink and smoke every weekend and is kind of the person I hate in people, and then wants to change a frat guy who wants to sleep with 20 people. And then we have Miss FOMO over here who needs to follow that and ditches all the other people because she's cooler. They're like, so you're gone nonverbal, so you need to communicate when you're mad at us. I said, I'm not mad. Not everything's about you. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? This is the whole rant. Like, Kenzie's not answering me, so I ran to my Instagram. And then they take me, like, I don't know if you've ever met me before, but I like isolation, okay? But I'm an introvert. Every once in a while, I just need to lock myself up for 24 hours and just vibe in my own little world. And they're like, they'll come, are you okay? Are you mad at me? No, when they say, are you okay, they mean, did I do something wrong? I'm gonna kill myself.
Shit would happen every other fucking day.
Every other day, to the point that I would go home a lot.
So much.
Hence why I went home for October 4th to 6th, or I was out. I wasn't home. There was tension, obviously. Like, I haven't been home, so I just didn't really care. At this point, I didn't want to be home. My parents knew that. They knew I hated being there. At this point, the fridge had become an issue. I didn't want to extend my emotions to the house. They disregard the fridge space. It was a thing. When we used to be friends, they were okay with me, like, rearranging the fridge. Like, they were okay with that. In the beginning, I stopped doing that a long time ago. But they were okay with that. I was like, hey guys, for organizational sake, do you care if I, like, move around? Nobody cared if I did it. Hence why it's not an issue. It became an issue when it was just like overconsumption and whatever.
Things would get shoved to the back of the fridge. Like that drawer that they had that was like cheese and deli meat would get like squished and like just thrown in there.
Expensive deli meat would get like destroyed.
Deli meat in general is expensive now.
And I get Sprouts. And it just became this huge issue, and I was getting so over it, but I knew a lot of these things were my own nitpicks, so I kept it to myself. I hated the dishes in the sink and things like that, but I was like, I don't want to nitpick. I don't want to be a mom. So I'm just gonna live in my bedroom.
Which had been a problem before with Alexa, basically stating how she feels like, you know, she's being parented.
She thinks
being, like Mix being like her mom and shit like that and nagging on her about certain things.
One time they had all partied and it was like the next day. The shared space had been trashed. So I sent a text to the whole group. It was like, hey guys, I'm so glad you had so much fun. When you have a chance after you guys wake up and whatever, can we just make sure the shared space gets picked up a little bit? Like, thank you. And then I texted Alexa by herself because she had alcohol in the open space, and I just asked her to put it in her room because I don't want to be liable for that.
Exactly. Don't keep it in the freezer. Just put it in your room.
Put it in your room. And she took that as me being a nagging mom. They struggle with between roommate and being a parent. Clearly, that's a you problem. Like, they don't know the difference between a roommate and a mom, because I had that boundary. They did not. They took it as being a nagging mom anytime you asked any roommate out.
It's worth mentioning that I wasn't the only one that thought that it was a mess, and frequently me and Oscar had texted that day, and I can't seem to find the messages, about how I had spoken to them because Caitlin and Alexa had come home and they were overly passive nice. Like, it was way too much to show because I had just asked them to clean up after themselves in the shared space. They were over the top, just totally passive about it. And we're like, oh, we'll get this out of your way. We'll do this. We'll do that. We'll do this. Like, it was very fake Barbie-ass behavior. I had ended up messaging Oscar about it, and I was like, am I micromanaging? Like, I don't understand. They're like, no, they're literally slobs. So I wasn't the only one that had agreed. I'm just the only one that has the balls to say anything.
So October 7th, me and Caitlin had a conversation because the ignoring still happening, but I'm kind of letting it go, like, whatever. She wanted to diffuse tension and was the first one to say anything to me about the ignoring. Caitlin was always the first one to come to me about anything. I said, thank you for explaining. I said I was tired of being the only one to ever communicate shit. I was the only ever one to, like, bring up issues, like, that are in between that I'm not bringing up now. She talked about her perspective and the tension and the ignoring. I re-explained. Mind you, I'd already given her a warning that day.
So many re-explains.
Right? I was like, I was depressed. I said, I tried to communicate that I had therapy that day and everybody made it about themselves. I'd said that explicitly to her. I said, everybody made my issues about themselves because I was depressed.
Always.
Like, it's not even that I was extending it to the house. If I'm in my room all the time, there's no way I'm extending it to the whole house. No. If I live in my bedroom, there's no way. My parents bought me a mini fridge to put in my room, so I no longer used the downstairs fridge unless it was for like milk. I had nothing in that fridge because I was so tired of being the fairy. I didn't want to push my things on them, so I lived in my bedroom, and it only got worse from that point.
Literally.
We share perspective, and as usual, she goes, oh, that makes so much sense now that I'm like actually coming to you and talking to you without making this a whole week ordeal.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
At this point, I'm kind of mad. I like how we both started pulling with our hair. I said this could have been solved day one if people stopped assuming shit and whispering behind backs, which I don't appreciate. Something that had nothing to do with anyone suddenly was made about y'all. Hence why I was upset. And I explained that they put up a wall and it was unfair to be upset about something that you had only assumptions of. Like, you fabricated why I was mad at you, why I was upset, and you made yourself mad and you discussed about it and you made a problem that didn't exist.
Literally.
When you could have just asked me day one. And you don't have to ask me, which we've established. Just go on with your day. Don't make it an issue.
No.
And we talked about it. We're good. We're good. Me and Caitlin. I made it very clear. I said, because we talked, we're okay. Fuck the other bitches in the house.
This does not extend to everybody else.
Yeah, because you're the one that has the voice for the rest of the house. And brought up, I had to explain that I don't like interrupting things. Like, they'll have a conversation. Why would I interrupt the conversation?
Yeah.
If you're doing something, like you guys are actually doing something, I'll just go upstairs. It's not personal. If you take it that way, come to me. Stop whispering behind it. Because I would come through the front door and they're watching TV. So I just walk past and go up to my room. And they're like, well, why didn't you say hi to us? I said, well, you're actively watching TV.
I don't want to interrupt you. Like,
they're like, but you can do that. You can feel safe with us to do that, Michaela.
I obviously can't, though.
I can't do anything in this house.
Literally.
On October 9th, I turned Life 360 off. We had a group Life 360, and I started to realize that they were stalking my location in a way that was like not necessary. Like, we had it on for like safety reasons to make sure when people get home.
No, just your location. Like, they started stalking everything.
They started stalking everything, but we're almost there. And then I went home October 9th to the 13th. So at this point, I've not been there like almost every single weekend.
Yeah.
Preach theater etiquette to my kids. Put your phone away. You preach theater etiquette. Put it away.
We had an agreement. This is about when Kenzie came over.
Oh, yeah.
We had an agreement because obviously we all share a trash can. If you're not home for the entire weekend, you are not responsible for that trash. Like, if you haven't been home and contributed a lot to it, it's fine. Like, you don't have to take it out. We don't expect you to do that. You see it's full. The adult thing to do is what, Kenzie? Just take the fucking trash out. So October 16th, they wanted a roommate meeting about the trash. And mind you, this is right after a passive aggressive text from Alexa and Caitlin. Hey guys, so we took the liberty of cleaning out the microwave and trash can for you guys. We're like, great. I'm so glad you took that initiative. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for being an adult. This is the day Kenzie got really involved. So I'm mad.
I was on the phone.
She was on the phone, but they don't know that. So if they're watching this, clocked your ass. I get a message about how we need to have a roommate meeting about the trash. So we all agree, 8 o'clock. I go downstairs about 10 minutes before, and I'm really confused because there's these 2 or 3 random girls in the front room, and we're supposed to be having a roommate meeting. Lily's over. They're all making dinner. I'm like, aren't we having a roommate meeting? I'm so lost. And then comes 8 o'clock. No one's really there. Oscar leaves the living room. And then Caitlin leaves the living room. And then I'm only really talking to Lily. And like, I'm looking over her shoulder at her TikTok. Like, we're joking, whatever. Lily's been uninvolved at this point. I've never had an issue with Lily. Lily's not an issue. Lily just ended up innocent bystander used as a pawn. I'm like just talking with Lily because it's uncomfortable. There's like tension in the room. I don't really know what to do other than stand there. And Oscar leaves, Caitlin leaves. And I was like, where are they going? And Alexa makes an excuse, but like, oh, I think they want to check on their car. I was like, Oscar parks second floor garage every time. Oscar is not checking on their car.
To move their car.
Then Lily goes out there, and then Alexa goes out there, and now these two fucking strangers are left in this place with me. Supposed to be having a roommate meeting. If we can guess what they're doing, I want you to guess. Guess now. Here are your choices. Insert Jeopardy music here. You got it. They're pre-planning what to say for this roommate meeting to me instead of talking with me. So I realize this. I'm really upset. And I go up to my room. I'm like, you know what? I'm not fucking having this roommate meeting if we're going to sit here and act like 4-year-olds. So I go upstairs. I immediately text Kenzie. I was like, these fucking cunts. I called Kenzie. I'm so mad. And I'm like telling her all about it. And I get a text immediately. We're ready for a roommate meeting. AKA, we've pre-planned what we're going to say to you.
We've discussed.
And mind you, these are the same.
The council has met.
Yeah. The council has decided we're voting you off the island.
I never said I was perfect. I never said I didn't have any flaws. But at least I'm pretty. And at least I'm a little funny.
It's the constant gang ups. Like, I had to describe the other two, Oscar and Caitlin, before we get into like me going downstairs. Or no, Alexa and Caitlin at this time. They all are so scared to talk to each other that I had an issue about like, I think the thermostat or something. They kept whispering to me, are you going to tell Oscar? Are you going to tell Oscar? I'm like, if you have a problem with it, you do it. I'm not going to bring it up until there's an active problem. Like, oh my God. So I go downstairs because he's like, you should leave me on the phone so I can hear this. I was like, okay. And you're on mute.
Yeah.
And I put my phone face down on the counter. And we're all around the counter in the kitchen. How would you describe... Because Alexa had done all the talking. Caitlin and Oscar didn't say anything the entire time because they had the group survivor meeting to vote me off the island. So they didn't need to have any input in this roommate meeting.
Relax and enjoy my evening. When all of a sudden, I hear this agitating, grating voice.
She talks like in high school when you have like those popular girls do like presentations and they're like, stop! Don't look at me! Oh my God! Oh my God! So like basically.
So basically, some people in the house have feeling that it's not exactly even with taking out the trash. And I cut her off after she said it like 3 times. Some people in the house feel like it.
Some people.
And I cut her off. I was like, do you feel this way? Well,
there have been multiple times where she had to be like, is this how you feel?
I have to make her say, I feel this way. Because she is incapable of saying that she feels that way. She's got to have an entourage behind her to talk to me. They all have to have somebody next to their shoulder to gang up on me.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying gang up as like lightly. They haven't, we'll get to that.
But no, like talked about like, or she talks like almost like talking down.
Yeah.
Where it was like chore and she started talking about like
on TikTok that people are doing little spin charts and we could do this per week to make sure that it's all even and sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
She feels like the strawberry bear in Toy Story 3 before we realize he's a fucking psychopath.
But by then we realize she's a fucking psychopath.
But by then I'm being fucking destroyed by toddlers.
Like that's how she would talk. And like nothing behind it was I feel like this.
I feel this way.
You know, it's like
it
this.
It was some people
like,
feel this way.
Some people feel like this. It was so like she was so.
It was so sorority.
On even cleaning.
Even cleaning.
Mind
you,
cleaning.
I haven't been home, and we had all agreed if you're not home that you don't need to take out the trash. Like, I clean up after, if I get shit on the counter, I'm going to clean up after the counter. They have this really bad issue of like, oh, I just made something, so I'm going to leave the entire pan on the oven. If I just made something, I'm going to leave all the crumbs, and then so we can clean all at once. So are we going to mop? Like, we would change 2 people would do the floors every week. Yeah, that didn't last very long. We have jobs in school. Like, there's no time to do that. So basically, when she was like, we can do like a little spin chart? Mind you, the other 2 aren't saying anything. I said, or we can be an adult and see when it's full and just take it out.
Literally.
And so I had to gentle parent her again after she goes, well, we haven't really been like doing that. I was like, well, now that you've brought it up, now we're going to be like, oh, right, Alexa brought this up. So now I'm going to look when I see a full trash. I'm like, oh yeah, Alexa brought this up. I should probably take it out.
This was talked about. I should do this.
I should do that now that it's brought to my attention.
And then she tried to add like other things that like needed to be done that like weren't being done. Like,
It was
she talked
just,
about
yeah.
like cleaning like the microwave cover and shit like that. Like,
It was
when
just
you use it
unnecessary
and it
things.
gets dirty, clean it.
When they're the
Like-
ones that are dirtying it. They're the ones that live downstairs, cook every day.
So hey, I haven't been home.
At this point, I've been home so many weekends, I basically haven't been there. But for sure. I had asked because I had seen a thing on the counter that they're going to move out. And I had asked, I was like, I want to know what your guys' plans are for next year. Are you guys like, are you moving out? Like, what's your guys' plans? They're all planning to move out. I went back upstairs and celebrated. I was like,
So
yes!
we started to count down.
Like I started to count down on my story about the day my roommates from hell move out. Same day, Caitlin asked to film. And also the same day, she told me to get off my phone in my own room. Yep. So she was filming and I was on the phone with one of my friends. And one of my friends and I were on the phone. I was in my room and I'm like getting ready to shower. I just get off the phone. I get a knock on my door. I open the door. It's Caitlin and Lily because she needs emotional support to come talk to me. I was like, hold on. I'll talk to you later. Gotta go. Bye. Hang up the phone. What'd you need? Oh, well, we were going to ask you to like get off the phone because we can hear you giggling in the filming. I was like, well, I'm off the phone. I pay $1,000 a month to live in my room and I can't giggle in my own room. If it's such an issue, go film somewhere else. Like, I live here. I can't just stop existing. I live here. October 19th, I took the trash out. I have the date. I took the trash out. And Caitlin, passing by in the kitchen, goes, thank you for doing that. Okay, mom, in the most passive aggressive, like, but I'm the mom here, for sure. Then come Tequila Sunrise weekend at my university. Tequila Sunrise is a really big event. Like, the Kardashians often come, like celebrities, like they want to be there. It's a huge thing. They participated in Tequila Sunrise. I didn't participate in Tequila Sunrise because I think it's a little dangerous. I didn't want to go out, but I was having a relaxing day. I think I was watching like Hell of a Boss upstairs or something. I go downstairs to make myself some dinner and Oscar and Caitlin are cleaning their bathroom. Go ahead. Crazy. And the other one is hungover on the couch. The other one's hungover in her room, or she's still doing Tequila Sunrise. I don't know. I sit on the couch for 2 seconds. Probably. I sit on the couch for 2 seconds. The water's boiling. Caitlin come downstairs with the mop. They got out to clean the bathroom. And she goes, Michaela, word for word, since I got the mop out, did you just want to like mop the floors real quick? Huh? So you got the mop out. You might as well just finish the job. No, I don't want to mop the floors real quick. I want to eat dinner. I want to go eat in my room and go to bed. You don't need to tell me when to clean. I'll clean when I get there. And I was just like, I'm making food right now. Okay. Like, I was just so shocked that she said that. I was just like, what the hell? So she goes back up. So to be petty in the moment, I was like, did she really, like, what song? I was like, did she really just fucking say that? I put up all the carpets. I swept the kitchen while my food was like finishing. When I finished my food, I made my bowl. I left all the carpets, because she got the mop out, right? So I left all the carpets. I went back upstairs with my food. You got the mop out. You can finish the job.
I swept for you. I did part of the job.
I would have never been that petty if she'd be like, so I got the mopped out. Like, oh no, you strenuous child. That must have been so hard.
Literally. I'd have been like, hey, since you're in here, do you mind mopping really quickly?
Or, hey, when do you plan on like doing your mopping for the week? Because I got the mop out if it makes it easier for you if you want to do it now. Like, there's so much like whatever. So they begin ignoring me again. At this point, I don't give a fuck. October 20th, I messaged about not turning the heat on while the windows are open. So at this point, the group chat has become a, hey guys, that's the only way to describe it. But it's only at me. They have started to do that thing where they wait till I leave a room and then they'll text me once I've left the room. Super important to make a point that they're super big about peak hours. In the very beginning, they even put up on a magnet on the fridge. Guys, from this time to this time, make sure you don't do your laundry, don't run the dishwasher, whatever. We did the math. It's like, it saves you a few cents.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'll compromise. I'll fucking do it. Like, whatever.
Since the beginning, they had been crazy about peak hours.
I'm talking like notes on every surface about these goddamn peak hours. Like, they would not shut up about it. Like, if you accidentally ran your laundry an hour early, they would be like, hey guys, just a reminder about peak hours. Let's make sure we're not doing that. But no, issue starts with the heat. If you talk to anybody who pays bills, heat and AC is what runs up your bill. it takes the most energy. They left the heat on overnight and nobody thought to say anything because the windows are open upstairs. So it's just been on and on and on. These are the same people that care a lot about the APS bill. I was hot that night. That's how you know it had been on all night, because I was dripping sweat and my window's open and it's October in what's supposed to be a very snowy place. It's cold. Mind you, there's no snow yet. It's just cold. Just so we're aware, coming up.
It's not even like that cold.
It's
like
not even.
70s.
At night, it gets a little
60s,
chilly.
yeah.
At night. During the day, you can walk around in like a t-shirt and pants. I messaged about like not doing that. I feel that was like the only time I really did a hey guys. And if I ever did another hey guys, it was just to be petty. October 21st, I get a message about filming again.
Why y'all act like literally the audio from TikTok? Why you act like that?
And like what?
The way that you act. You don't see how you act. If that's not right, but you get my point. Like, if y'all want to act 14, I can too. Let's play a game called Who Could Be More Petty? And I'll win. Cue the saw scene. Wait, I want to play a game. That's me.
And then the fight happened on 10/22. The fight. Mm-hmm. Prepare yourselves. Okay, Kenzie, are you ready for this?
That was the fight?
That was the fight. When we first moved in and we were all friends, I made little flags for the doors.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Everybody's name was on the doors. Everything was a little tense. And this is what we meant by the stalking. I decided that they had been creepy with the Life 360 and all this stuff, and so many other things I'm probably forgetting are not being brought up. And I'm skipping bits because these are what happening in between the heat conversations. I went to class at like 8 a.m. I blocked them when I sat down in class off Instagram. I didn't say anything. I think I untagged them first. Like I deleted photos, I think.
Yeah.
I deleted photos off Instagram. I was like, I really don't like them. I don't want them on my Instagram. But then I decided, you know what? Let's full send it. Let's just block them.
Don't be afraid to hit that block button.
I didn't think they noticed. I could not tell you who has me blocked.
I wouldn't have noticed.
I would have never noticed someone has. How many times have you gone on Instagram like, this person's blocked me?
And you don't get notified if somebody untags you or deletes a post that you were tagged in.
Correct. So I blocked them when I got to class. This is the same class that Alexa's in. I don't think she went that day. She never went to class. I blocked them. I walked back to my place because I have like a little leisure time before I have to go to my next class. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home and eat, because usually I don't go straight back home. I go just there and go hang out. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back and eat. I'm on the phone with my grandma because I'm trying to get her perspective about like what I should say, if I should say anything. We were on the phone for maybe an hour and we weren't even talking about them most of the time.
No.
We're drafting, like, I was gonna send a voice note because no one's in the house at the same time and nobody wants to talk to me because we're all ignoring Michaela. So I was like, okay, don't send a text because your tone's gonna get lost and they're really bad at it. So I'm gonna send a voice note. I'm not here to argue or hear but you. I want to be civil and respectful as a roommate. That applies to everybody. You don't have to like me. It's not it. But at this point, I was really peeved that they were using my things and then talking shit about me. Like using all the things that I bought. Like I'm the only one that bought useful things. You know, for how much Oscar bought, I'm the one that bought useful things that everybody used, like pens and shit.
Literally.
I started ignoring my presence, not even having the decency to make eye contact. Nobody makes eye contact when I'm in a room. Heads down, silent. And I never got to send this message.
No, didn't have a chance.
Never had a chance because it was already gonna be a fucking ride. I am making a grilled cheese in the kitchen. Nobody's home. I remember this day so perfectly. I'm making a grilled cheese in the kitchen. I think I'm texting my mom. I got off the phone with my grandma. I had just come inside, planning out this message. I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna send this voice memo like pretty soon, because nobody's ever home at the same time. Nobody wants to talk to me. I noticed when I note on the top of the trash can, the reason I was texting my mom is these flags. On top of the trash can was Alexa's flag. She didn't put it like in the trash. She like put it so you could see it. So I could see it, like on purpose.
Bitch.
It was just nasty. The other, Caitlin had taken hers off her door and like put it in her room because she at least had that kind of grace. We'll give her that
kind of fucking decency.
So I think that's what I was texting my mom about. I was just like, how rude, whatever. So I'm like getting ready to send the voice memo. And then boom, in comes Caitlin, full speed ahead.
don't slam my door.
I'll slam whatever I want.
Stomp, stomp. You know how they complain I do, right?
Literally.
Stomp, 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 stomp. Slams the front door. Stomps past me. And I'm like, what's up with you? Ignores me. Goes upstairs. Stomps up the stairs. Slams her bedroom door.
And we extend our emotions.
We extend our emotions to the house. And then in comes Alexa. Alexa does the exact same thing. She goes to her room, stomps, and then goes right back upstairs, slams Caitlin's door. I am shaking mad at this point about their behavior. The flags on top of that behavior, and I'm the one that extends my emotions to the house.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely fucking not. You better just be kidding, because there's no...
So I'm texting my mom. I'm mad. My mom is livid. She was like, go in there and say something to those fucking cunts. Like, I was like, you know what? I will. So I take my grilled cheese, my poor grilled cheese that I never got to eat. And I put it on my bed and I go knocking on the door. I didn't come in there huffing and puffing. Okay? I took a breath. My hands were shaking. I was so upset. I wish I recorded this conversation. And Caitlin opens it. I asked if we could talk. I was calm at first. And I was like, okay, I'm done with the high school, like, BS and talking behind each other's back. That is the only words I got out of my mouth before they both started screaming at me. I haven't been in a screaming match and they're screaming at me. And I'm screaming back at them. We're screaming at each other about like, high school BS, I'm like, you guys talk behind my back. It's a blur. It's like, you know that like blind rage? It's just a blur of shit that was said. Of like, you talk behind my back, I talk behind your back.
You did this to me. You told Coach Sylvester about my summer surgery. You have a surgery when you get your appendix out. You got a boob job. Yep, sure did. You can't hit me. Well, sure I can, unless you got yourself knocked up again, slut. Stop the violence.
It's like, well, you've talked shit about Kenzie.
Oh, don't even go there, you whore. Oh, you are a whore.
I just don't want to be friends with somebody that talks shit about their friend.
I think now's a great time to air out some shit that I didn't bring up in the argument because I was trying to be a good person, but we're long past that now. They're basically like, we don't want to be friends with anybody that like talks behind each other's back. That's all they do. And let me give you some proof. Oscar, who is nowhere to be found, because we're going to circle back all the way to the beginning before we even moved in. Do you remember when I said me and Oscar used to talk a lot about Caitlin? Yeah. Oscar was very keen on making sure that we lied about it, because Oscar and I at IKEA spent 4 hours at IKEA airing out how we felt. We also would spend hours at Chick-fil-A airing out how we felt. And it was a lot of Oscar complaining. That is all Caitlin has done to me the whole semester. That is all they do. So I can admit to being a hypocrite for talking shit, because I guarantee you I did talk shit, and I admit that in this argument. But the difference between us is I can admit to it, and I don't think I'm higher than you because I'm not lying about it and I'm being open. I can admit my fault and my mistake and the fact that I did do that, and you're right, I apologize. But let's see you do it too, because I'm not the only villain here. But I'm the bad guy for talking shit. Check your friends. How about that?
So, whoa. You're bringing up my best. Also, it is not your fucking place to bring up my friend. Like, you have known nothing about that situation. We haven't talked since August. Let's explain. For context, I have never been in a relationship. I'm Arrow Ace. What's up, folks? When she comes to me with some issues and things that I don't understand, I confide in if I don't know how to reply and I don't know how to empathize with it.
It is one continuous relationship. It is not multiple.
It is one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that wasn't clear.
The way I feel like the way that was talked about was
I'm sorry.
One continuous relationship.
It's one continuous healthy relationship.
Happy, healthy,
baby on the way.
Literally.
I confided in Lily. They just happened to be in the same room. Wasn't even talking to them. I confided in Lily. I was like, dude, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to empathize with this situation. Like, I don't know. And Lily was trying to give me advice. They took that as talking shit.
Yeah.
Or they took us as like, me, Kenzie, and one of our other friends, Hope, we're in a very healthy friendship of, we know that we talk about each other, but we know we're not talking shit about each other. Like, we know that if something is off, we're going to confide in someone, like, and confide in each other, and we know what happens, but we know it's not in a like snarky,
because we want to make sure that like I'm not overreacting, you're not overreacting. So if this does get brought to her face, it's
not going to cause
something
issues
brought up out of pure anger or something brought up out of like miscommunication or misunderstanding. If it's something that gets brought up to the group, it's something that like deeply hurt us, deeply
right. And it's never
upset.
Not addressed. Like if it's a big enough issue, we address it as a whole. Like it's a very mature friendship and we all know what happened, so none of us are offended by it. What I was offended by was the fact that she felt the need to bring up something she knew nothing about. I wasn't even talking to her.
Things that had been overheard in passing. And I don't know, we're going to use the word passing lightly, because there were multiple occasions where you could see feet standing outside
my
of
door.
her door.
But I've gotten to the point, you should know this too.
They actively would stand in front of my door to listen to my conversations on the phone. I'm not exaggerating that.
Are you fucking filming us right now?
Because there was no, like, there is just no proximity that you could be that close. Like, there was no reason to be that
They've
close
never had
to
a
their
healthy
door.
relationship like that. So they're screaming over me. They won't let me talk. And I'm just saying, can you let me talk? Can you let me talk? Can you let me talk?
I'm speaking. No, 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 I'm speaking.
And eventually, in the most like passive fucking way, Alexa's like, go ahead. Oh, I was so livid in that moment.
I'm not gonna lie.
And we basically just went over everything. We took a breath after the screaming. We're all shaking. We're all upset. Mind you, I came in there to talk to Caitlin.
Yeah.
And Alexa's the only one that's talking because that's how far Caitlin's up her ass. We went over everything. We went over the mop, the people talking shit, don't touching things. I was like, if you guys are gonna talk shit about me, I don't want you guys to touch my things. We're like talking shit about you. You literally talk shit about us first. I said, I literally hear you guys downstairs. I can hear you talking shit. They're like, well, we only talk shit because you do. Okay, but you're still talking shit. That's giving like, well, I only did that because she did. But she did it too. But she did it too. Okay. I was like, you're right. I did talk shit. You're completely right. Stop pushing away from the fact that you did it too. Like,
exactly. We'll own up to it. But they won't.
It's the way that like I did apologize in that conversation about certain things I did that were passive. But I was like, you're right. That was a bit much. I shouldn't have done that. But I was like, do you really not think it's like above and beyond to put the thing on top of the trash can? Like, do you really not think that was necessary? She was like, well, where else do you want me to put it? Like, I don't have a trash can in my room. Like, I'm not just going to shove it in my room. Like, there's the only trash can in the house. Like, she can't own up to the fact that she did it to be a cunt.
The lid.
That was so intentional. There's no way you just laid it out perfectly for me to find.
Even if it wasn't like on purpose, there's still no acknowledge of, oh, I didn't realize that hurt your feelings. Didn't realize that upset you.
I didn't even think about that. You're right.
Exactly. You're right. I'm sorry. It wasn't done in an intention to upset you.
Right.
It wasn't done in an intention to be malicious or mean.
Right.
Never once was that like
an issue
addressed.
And then we brought up like the filming thing, whatever. I was like, find somewhere else to film if it's going to be an issue. And I was like, they were like, okay, but you blocked us. I would like to give you a time span. This is like right before my noon class. I think it was like a 2.5 hour time span. How do you notice someone blocks you within the hour? Because they had taken those off while I was at class, which means they had been stalking my Instagram. Caitlin brought up mid fucking argument and she was like, well, you removed us from your posts.
Oh my God.
How deeply are you looking at my Instagram? Because I don't post to you that often. I post like once a month, maybe.
Yep.
You have to dig to find that. How often are you checking my Instagram that you found that out within the fucking hour? That's insane. This is why I blocked you. Because you are stalking me like a psychopath. I don't know. We said this stupid thing about tracking one another. Like, well, you turn off your Life 360, so we turn off our Life 360. I was like, I do not care. It did not have the same effect. I just didn't want you guys watching me of when I was coming home when I was not. Like, you guys were stalkers. You guys were being creepy as fuck. I said, I already spelled it out for you. Stop taking things so personally.
I'm very busy.
Well, I'm sure you are.
I don't like your tone.
I'm sure you are.
Everything's taken so personally. Even it has nothing to do with you. And they said they only reflect what I'm doing. They're like, we just reflect what you're doing to us. Literally. What do you mean? We both admitted to being petty. I'll give them that. Okay. We both admitted to being petty. And we said that we need to be roommates, not friends. And then Caitlin was like, I don't appreciate that you blocked us. I was like, sorry for doing it out of order. Yeah. I was like, sorry, I should have told you beforehand that I didn't want to be your friend and then blocked you. My bad. Did that out of order. I admit, my bad. Caitlin says they're moving out for me so they don't make me uncomfortable.
Narcissism by Raquel.
Then we talked about the texting in the group chat and the assumptions, and which I pointed out that we need to stop with the assumptions and stop overcomplicating shit like the apples. The fucking apples! Oh my god. Do you remember this? This was the most crazy shit ever. Oh my god. I had apples on the count. It was like in a fruit bowl. And apparently they had started rotting. I didn't notice. We're busy. I didn't notice. Instead of being like, hey, your apples are rotting. Can we like toss them or whatever? They just moved where it was on the counter and hoped I noticed. They genuinely hoped I noticed. They didn't say anything. I didn't notice I'm busy. I hadn't been eating apples. Like, my bad, it went bad. Instead of like, yo, your apples are rotten, or just throwing them away because they've gone bad anyway. They moved it on the counter and hoped I noticed. And then when I didn't notice, they got upset. That's their mentality. They're hoping I notice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh.
They, like, that was...
But I don't care.
They're hoping you notice that they're upset.
Why do I care so much? Did I say a fucking thing? Why do I care so much? You just went on a fucking 3-minute tangent about how much you care. I was actually trying to interrupt you guys to say, this is a fucking hypothetical question. Tomorrow we'll wake up, there'll still be waffles, there'll still be pancakes, there'll still be French toast. And I care too much? I couldn't give a fuck less.
But there's no problem unless we tell you, right?
Literally.
Right?
That's the little running theme is if it's you,
we don't want to tell you what to do.
There's no problem unless you bring up
it. But that only applies for you though. We don't want to tell you what to do. That's what they want to say constantly. We don't want to tell you what to do because they don't understand the difference between a roommate and a mom.
Yeah.
Hence the issue at like the first, like, hey, do you guys care to clean up after yourself a little bit? And they took that as telling you what to do. Not as a roommate ask of like being kind. And then we're good. We agree that we're just gonna be roommates. Cordial. All right. Me and Caitlin have to go to class, so we're trying. I never got to eat that goddamn grilled cheese. R.I.P. grilled cheese.
It just got cold and sad.
Me and Alexa, I'm trying to explain because they're not understanding like about me as a person. I said you're not. It's not clicking.
She's got PTSD or whatever. Post-traumatic Down syndrome.
It's not clicking. I said, I'm like trying to explain that I'm in therapy. And therapy is not a bad thing. I think everybody should go to therapy. I think it's a great thing because it checks you when you're being crazy.
Previously in this argument, Alexa
she insinuates
that she should go see a therapist. She should talk about it.
That's how it went. You can always come to us, Michaela. You shouldn't feel the need to like put it down. Like you shouldn't have to, but you should see a therapist.
Literally says that she should see a therapist.
And I was so in shock. I didn't know what to say. I was like, there's no way this bitch just said that to me. Mind you, I'm the one that put a magnet on the fridge that said, hot girls go to therapy. Because why am I the only one in that house in therapy? Therapy is not a bad like connotation. Like, I think everybody should go to therapy. It's great and great self-reflection on you as a human being. Mm-hmm. And they all need to be in therapy desperately. Communicate.
For all their issues. Because I'm aware of my issues. I understand how I impact people. So I check myself. And by telling you aloud, I'm making you aware of it. You need to go to therapy so you can inflict the same thing. Because holy shit,
you need therapy. I don't know why you ever left therapy, Alexa. I don't know why, because you desperately still need it next to your med card. Like, shit. Then it's just me and Caitlin. And this is where it gets juicy. Me and Caitlin walk to class. And so Alexa's not there. We're just talking about it, you know. It got brought up how, like, well, I just didn't really appreciate, because at this point, I'm still, like, upset.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just didn't appreciate how she brought up my best friend. Like, how she knew about it. And Caitlin,
like, it was something that, like, got personally talked about with her.
Like, there was no need to bring it up.
No.
You know nothing about that. And Caitlin is like, I would have never let her bring up my best friend like that. I didn't think that was cool. Mind you, in the argument, she had nothing to say.
Didn't call her out on it. Didn't say, whoa, that was unnecessary. Like,
hey, that wasn't cool. Like, I understand, like, we both have this issue with Michaela, but that wasn't cool to bring up. Like, literally. I can agree with that. No, silent. Because that's how far she's up Alexa's ass. And then she's like, yeah, I admit that we're ganging up on you. She said those words. I admit that we're ganging up on you, and I've thought about it, and I felt bad about it. Like, she went this whole rant about how she feels bad that she's ganging up on me, but does nothing to fix it, right?
Well, just as I thought, you're a pussy.
Mind you, Oscar's still nowhere to be found. So all these arguments are happening without Oscar there. So I didn't really have a problem with Oscar.
Yeah.
Coming August 2025, Michaela's roommate situation. Crazy shit happened today. And I can't even get into it. But they're big bubble blowing baby.
Okay, now that we've established that we're not friends as of October 22nd, Kenzie comes over from the 26th to 27th. This is when I stopped using the trash can completely. Like, I stopped. Although, you know what? If it's such an issue, Kenzie came over. We tried to get drunk a little bit and did not work out the way we wanted to. It was really gross. And made cookies. I think that we were like drunk for like maybe 10 minutes max.
We made cinnamon rolls the next morning.
That's
what got put in the trash. Cinnamon wrapper.
Yeah. And the cookies.
Did we throw away the cookies out there? I thought we took the cookies up to your room.
We threw away at least the wrapper to the cookies. So that was the last time when Kenzie was over, last time I touched the trash. And then on October 30th, because Kenzie was over, we did our own thing. Heater, I had asked them, by the way, months prior to her coming over. So they couldn't take it back because they don't like me. So on October 30th, the heater situation comes on again. And Alexa asks to put on the heater. And I basically was like, I don't really want the heater on. But I don't say that. I want to compromise and be a good roommate. And was like, okay, let's just make sure we turn it off at night then.
Yeah. Before we go to bed.
Like, we don't want it to run all day because we all care about being cost friendly, right? That's why you guys are so specific on this peak hours, right? But she wants to run the heater during peak hours. That doesn't make sense. I said, sounds good. And don't forget to just turn it off before bed. Before bed. It's really cold at night, especially in my room, and it's not peak hours during the night. I was like, it's still expensive to run all night. I said, I just got like 3 blankets and call it good. Well, she's like, it's Flagstaff and it's 30 degrees. It's actually snowing, and by the time it's actually snowing, we'll need it on at night. So it's not snowing yet.
Not snowing yet.
You're right, I agree, but we're not there yet.
It snowed until like fucking
January.
Literally.
It was a really bad winter. It was cold at some points. Like, I agree, like, if we wanted to have a heater on at night. I could agree with that. But nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it.
Never.
I said, yeah, when it's colder, I agree. I just don't think it's that cold yet. And she's explaining how she has all these things and how it's still freezing. I was like, we can have a roommate meeting about it if you want it, like, when we're all home. Because, like, I don't want to argue over text. I think I was at, like, Starbucks at the time, you know, before everything went apart. I was at Starbucks at the time, and I was doing homework because I was starting a job. And I finally found a job, and I was about to be really busy. So I was doing a lot of homework every day. So I'm having this conversation at a Starbucks. And she's still going. I was like, okay, is everyone free tonight? She's still going. Oscar replies, we don't need a roommate meeting for this. Nobody wants to have a roommate meeting if I call it, by the way.
No.
If it's such an issue, I can pay the extra amount. I want you to remember that. Please. So I was like, I just don't want to argue over text. Alexa's still going. It's like, why not talk in person and have a roommate meeting? And then she goes, I don't really think it's an argument. Do you know what an argument is? Let's insert that definition here, shall we? Oscar agrees that they don't think it's an argument. They don't want to meet in person. I have other things to do. Plus, we don't have the heat super high. It only needs to be a little more in order to even out cool times, whatever. I said, okay. I'm okay with it being on at night, but between the hours that, like, she said, as long as it doesn't, that it does get switched off. My main concern about this, I express that I'm, like, nitpicking money. And if they want to nitpick peak hours, I would like to nitpick this to help me save money, because this is the actual money thing. Like, if they have complaints, I get to have complaints, but nobody wants to hear mine. I only get to compromise with them. They don't get to compromise with me. Again, Oscar says, I'll cover the cost because I don't care. I have a job, so I have that extra funding. All of my extra money is going towards paying bills. Like, at this point, nobody in that house is at the same level of struggle.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to consider that, even though I've tried to express it. Mind you, some of them knew me before this, like, as friends. So I don't know what the issue is. I didn't think having a roommate was going to change anyone's mind, because that's how they said about it. Feel like over text, whatever, insert message here. I understand an argument was not happening. It was. I was just trying to stop talking about it.
Literally.
I just want to be heard too. An in-person conversation was suggested to help that. But now that it's out of the way, just wanted to clear that up. Just clarify what that conversation was about in the most, like, polite, passive way possible. Caitlin asked about, oh, guys, I forgot late notice, but filming. Guys, late notice. I film tomorrow. Hey, guys, filming today. Hey, guys, this.
Late notices all the time.
All the time. November 4th, I started my job at this point. I started my job on November 1st. I get jobs for text messages from this group chat, and I put an exact note every single day. November 4th, Alexa texted me about running laundry during peak. She watched me in the same room load my laundry, waited till I went upstairs, and then texted me, hey guys, not me, sorry, she texted the group chat. Hey guys, let's make sure we're not wanting the washer during peak hours. Instead of just texting me or just saying something in the moment. Hey, I would wait to start that because it's still peak hours. November 5th, the next day, Caitlin texted me about me and Alexa doing floors. Basically saying, hey guys, do the floors, which we ended up doing. November 6th, Alexa asked about the film stuff and how we need to be quiet. Blah, blah, blah. More. Ask, nag. Every day at this point, every single day, it was something else. And I'm working at this point. Later the day, November 6th, Oscar texted me about the trash. About while I was at work, I was training. I was working on the Polar Express. So I'm on a train, actively practicing safety things and how the show's gonna go. During a spare moment, Oscar texted me about how I use the trash and how I need to take the trash out. Mind you, I would just like to be very, very clear. This is when I got very, very petty. Because I had put 2 pieces, I'm so positive, it was like 2 or 3 pieces of mac and cheese, so I didn't want to put it down the drain. That is the only time I've touched it. Because I didn't want to put it down the drain and be a dick.
Yeah.
Because it's not a really great sink. That is the only time. That is not qualified to take out the trash that I have not used. And they're like, but they saw you do it, Michaela. I was like, okay.
Literally, Alexa saw you throw stuff away in the garbage last night, though.
I was like, okay, I haven't been using it. I totally get it, but I've just been taking my stuff upstairs. I bought a trash can for my bedroom at this point because I was so fed up with it. I bought a trash can. I bought a fridge.
All of the cooking stuff got brought upstairs.
Everything I owned that they were using, pans, like spatulas, cooking utensils, measuring cups, all of the above was taken to my room. I have an entire like decorated shelf in my dorm for all of it. And I said, you know what? I can't talk right now.
At work, can't talk right now, but I'm just gonna not use the downstairs trash like it was suggested during the meeting.
Talk to you later. Like that should have been the end of it. And she had to clarify, okay, just no matter what, she said, no matter what, you can't use the trash. Just so you're aware, like, mind you, this is Oscar, who never has been in any of these arguments, never been home, never expressed anything to me. We never had a direct conversation about having an issue. It is all by association. There was no issue in meaning to bring up that trash can. They had said nothing at all, not a single word during that trash can meeting. No. A single word. And God forbid, I put 2 pieces of macaroni in it. But you know what? So sorry, my bad. I put 2 pieces of macaroni in it. I'll come home and take out trash right now. Right now. I come home from work and I'm just in tears because I'm so stressed out that every day it's something with my roommates. Every day it's nag. So I'm on the phone with my mom after work. It's like 11 o'clock at night. And I'm sitting in the parking garage sobbing because I'm so just stressed out. Now I'm now working and doing school. I have my roommates. Like, I live in such a hostile environment, and you don't understand until you're in that situation how much of a toll it takes on a person. And then it's on your phone, so it follows you all day. All they do is text you nagging. You can never escape your fucking roommates, even if you leave the house all day. So mom was like, you know what? Like, Michaela, I don't put it lightly, but they are quite literally bullying you. And I don't use that word lightly. They're singling you out, targeting you. They have nothing to say to your face. It's all by text. Everything is by text. It goes quiet when I'm in a room, but it's all by text. So she goes, block their asses. If they have something to say, they can come and knock on your fucking door.
Don't be afraid to hit that block button.
And within their agreement on their lease, you do not have to have each other's phone numbers. You can communicate in person.
Putting the lease here. It explicitly says that. I went through the lease to make sure I wasn't in the wrong. Yep. I messaged the place where we live at, and they basically were like, you don't have to.
Yep. They can come to you personally and talk to you if they have a problem.
I had Polish at work, so I was only really there. I was never really there. I was never home. No. I would go to school, and then I would come home, get ready, leave, go to work, and I wouldn't come back until like 11 o'clock at night. This is when I started getting those notes.
Yes.
Right. Because I had blocked them, they couldn't text me the bill, and it took them a week to say anything about me blocking them. Alexa and Caitlin came and knocked on my door.
Oh, well, if it isn't Tweedledum and Tweedle Fake Boo.
And they're like, did you block us? And I was like,
oh, yes.
Yep, I did. And they're like, well, they went on and on about how they need to contact me and how I was late on the APS bill. I received a note on my door from Oscar, insert here, about how I need to pay the APS bill. And it was on like a ripped piece of paper. Instead of like saying something to me face to face, you resorted to leaving a note. That's how scared you are to talk to me. You can't be like, hey, the APS bill is this much. Pay Venmo me when you can.
Yep.
You can't just say that. No, you have to leave a note on my door, and you have to wait for me to leave my room and leave the house so you can leave a note on my door. That is how afraid you are of confrontation.
They had been in the house at the same time.
We're always in the house at the same time. Like, I don't go to work until like 1. And it's winter break now, so now we're all here. I was late on the APS bill. We get the bill around like the 7th, 6th. So I'm not late. Also, the bill was paid. I just need to pay her back. So there's no like real thing there. I paid right when you told me, so I don't know what to tell you about it. Was it because she couldn't get a hold of me? They asked our living community if they said they can ask me to unblock them. I said, well, I said no, I will not unblock you. To which I said, Oscar left a note on my door. I paid her that night. And Caitlin defends that she doesn't want to have an in-person conversation. She says that. I've never seen Oscar face to face, and she says Oscar does not want to have an in-person conversation. Totally understand that. I've never had one with her.
That's nothing new.
And she's just more comfortable in text. And I said, okay, not my problem. Figure it out. Be an adult.
Talk about it.
They're saying, well, can you at least unblock Oscar? And I was like, no. What's the day we get the bill? And it's like, I'm always about the same day. They gave the day. I said, okay. Well, you guys are nonstop. I blocked you for my mental health. I'm here every night and every morning. You can come talk to me or leave a note since you're incapable of talking to me.
Seriously.
I said, you can come knock on my door. Alexa says, I'm not here all the time, and how they think that they haven't been a problem texting wise, or they don't text me about anything and anything else. And I was the one who asked to be respectful of roommates, but I'm keeping my mouth shut during this entire fucking ramble because I just didn't want to argue at this point. I have work. I said, I speak when you guys come to me. I don't really go out of my way to have a conversation, but if you speak to me, I'm not just going to ignore you.
Yeah.
On a roommate level. I said, but you don't need to text me. You've lost that privilege at this point to text me. Texting's a fucking privilege. They suggested that our community space, like the people like the CAs, have a mediated meeting. You know what I've been saying since end of August.
End of August.
But now they want it.
A mediated meeting.
I said, well, I cut them off, and I was like, well, I appreciate a mediated meeting, and I'll speak there. Because I was like, you guys are I literally called them keyboard warriors during this conversation, which they did not like, obviously. That's all I said, because I'm not going to argue with people who never want to hear me anyway. Like, they're not going to hear the words coming out of my mouth. There's no point in fucking going off on them. And then Caitlin was like, which we will say that all three of us agree that we want you to unblock us, so we're clear.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I was like, perfect.
Like it's a threat.
So did you know that they can't force me to unblock? It's actually in the lease that I don't have to do that. 3v1 is always going to be an issue. So it doesn't matter if you guys all agree because you guys are always 3v1. You admitted to me face to face that you know that you're ganging up on me. So, and I was there. So there's a week before Christmas that school isn't there.
Yeah.
So I was the only one there during that time.
Oh, where's Abby? Where's Abby? And I'm all like, who the hell cares? Party!
Because I was working. No one else was home. Right before they left, they decided to, on every single surface, because winter break's about to start, on every surface, they put a sticky note. Instead of talking to me, because we've been in the same room many times, because we live together, instead of saying something, they got to stick on every surface all these little notes about everything. I took them all down. And then I noticed.
Peak hours.
Peak hours. I didn't have the heat on the entire time, that entire week, and I was fine. But okay. And then I noticed, because at this point, I'm not using the kitchen. I go in there to microwave, and I have a little rice maker. You'd be surprised about how many things you can make in a rice maker. And I have a little like sandwich maker. Like I was living in my bedroom. Genuinely, I was cooking, eating, living in my bedroom. My entire pantry was basically on top of my fridge. Yeah. So I didn't clean the kitchen because I didn't use the kitchen. I think it's only fair. I never used the dishwasher. I never did my dishes in the sink. Ever. I didn't live in that house.
No.
I lived in my bedroom like it was a dorm because I was so tired of hearing it from them. I noticed because I'm never in the kitchen, right? I was making meal prep for that week because no one was there. I was like, okay, finally I can cook in peace in my own kitchen. And I noticed something's missing.
What was that?
The cooking utensils on the side of they're missing. Weird, right? The trash can is missing. I wasn't gonna use it, but the trash can's missing. And I noticed
pot holders.
The TV remote is gone. I've never touched that TV. It's just all these little things, they're gone. And I was just like, really? You really think I'm gonna touch your things? What does that say about when I'm not here? Do you touch my things when I'm not here? Because I wasn't gonna touch it.
Oh.
So at that point, I got really petty and took all of my things, like everything home. There was this like a stool that we had a tree sitting on. I took that back home. I put that in my car when I left for winter break, and it's now in my bedroom. I left the tree on the floor. I took my one throw pillow home. I took all the dish rags. I took everything to my room. Everything to my room that I was like, all the little clips for the chip bags. Mm-hmm. I had been like letting them use. Oh, all the chip bags were left open because I took all my chip bag clips away. I was like, you want to
like
get, you go low, shit. I go lower.
You know something absolutely hilarious? I'm never in the kitchen long enough. See anything? I already noticed all the notes that I'm gonna... Yeah. I was like, I'm never in the kitchen long enough to notice anything. They took their trash can and the TV remote. I didn't plan on using any of their shit. Calm down. They took the stirring utensils, down everything. I'm gonna take my pillow for good measure. My pillow, my broom. It's mine now. Mine now, motherfuckers. Oh, this broom? You don't have a broom anymore. You go low, I go lower, motherfucker. You know what I can take? Who bought this? I did. Who bought the couch pillow? I did. Who brought the broom? I did. You know what I also brought? Bringing her home. Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what I also bought? This is crazy, guys. Are you ready? I'm gonna wash it, but the sink holder. You just lost your ribbons. This is crazy.
Over break, I only unblocked Oscar to get the bill. I unblocked, what's the bill? They give me the bill. And then they sent a text. I'd reblock them afterwards, so I don't want to hear it. They sent a text about something about, can you not unblock me like whenever you feel like it? And they like that. I was like, well, no, if you can keep it strictly roommate related stuff, then sure. And then it was just the most passive aggressive shit I've ever. Literally. At this point, I was just so over it. I did not care. January 6th, I asked for the bill. It wasn't in yet. It came in on the 8th. My mom suggested leaving her unblocked for like, maybe she wouldn't notice. Oh, she noticed because that's when she asked about the can you like stop doing that? Can you unblocking? She texted about unblocking Caitlyn on the 11th with her psychic witch powers. No, when I left her unblocked. So I blocked her again afterwards. Like I didn't even argue. I just blocked her again. On February 11th, this is like, oh my God. The APS bill came in. And mind you, we didn't come in until mid-January. And it was really high because I'd stopped arguing about the heat because I didn't want to talk about it. And I was under the impression that Oscar was paying for my end, as discussed and screenshotted proof. The bill came in and I was like, damn, that's like really high. So we had a dispute about it. I had texted her because it was like right when I woke up. I was like, hey, do you care if I have like a summary of the bill? And then when it came in, I had been like, so it's like kind of really high. Like it just gone up like a few dollars. But if you, it's the point that it went up for a month that we were not even fully there for. And I'm supposed to be living here too. Like I get a say, right? Right? No, I don't get a say.
I'm paying these bills.
So why should I get a say? So I'm confused. Like, how are you calculating me not paying the heat? She basically was like, oh no, you're paying for it. Like I quit that job. She did not give a fuck that she basically was like, I decided that like I didn't want to do that and just didn't tell you.
Yeah. You signed a contract to pay. I was tired of the arguing, and let's not forget, you actually had a job at that time. My mind has changed about that, and let's not forget, you're the one who canceled the roommate meeting. Oh, that was...
Yeah. I canceled the roommate meeting because it was like right before we left for spring break. And Winter break. It was like a back and forth on the phone with the CA. Like the CA called each of us, got our side of the story. We're going to have a mediated meeting. And then by the time like winter break rolled around and like shit was going down, I basically was like, CA, I was like, I just don't feel like it's going to solve anything. I don't think there's a point in me going.
And you were working.
I was working.
Like you had these days that worked for you, these times that worked for you that didn't work for them or didn't work.
It was just really
whatever.
hard. Yeah.
Exactly. So it'd be like, oh, can you do this day at this time? I can't. Like,
I just told you I can't do those days and you scheduled it on those days. Like we went back and forth over emails for a minute and it was like really pissing me off. So when school had started back up, I basically was like, we don't need to have this meeting because it's not going to solve anything. Like there's just no point. Why waste your breath?
Talking about how it's impossible to communicate and yada, yada, yada. Like, you know,
you're impossible
you ignore
to communicate
our knocks.
I don't ignore their knocks, by the way. I told them if you have something to say, come knock on my door. They never knocked on my door.
Never.
Ever.
And if they did, it was probably like
a little, or I wasn't home.
Exactly.
She was like, it's only this amount of money. And I was like, you're right, but I only have X amount. I only have X amount of money for the semester. Like,
literally.
Because I take loans out for school. I don't have mommy paying my bills.
Yep.
And I said, I'd prefer to keep the APS bill as low as possible. Shit adds up and mommy isn't paying my bills. It's also a matter of the fact that I don't get a say in what I'm paying for. Like, regardless of the money aspect, regardless of like, well, they don't have to help you out. Like, you're living here, like you should be able to afford it, whatever. If you put all of that aside, I don't get a say in what I'm paying for. It's basically like, well, we don't like you and we don't really care about your opinion. So we're just gonna do whatever the fuck you want and you can help us pay the bills. I was getting really upset and she had like muted her. She went on D&D and I'm going to class. I'm mad. I call my mom. Sent the money, but from here on out, I don't give a shit about your peak hours or any other ask since y'all don't give me a say with the heat or anything else for that matter. You don't get to tell me when I can and can't do laundry, but then I don't get a say on the heat. Like, that's not fair. Good thing it's not in our contract, that I have to follow peak hours. I quoted her back on that because fuck you, cunt. And right after that conversation, there was our CA talked about it with her. I don't have to unblock them. And I said, you can send me the bill via Venmo from now on. You know, because I feel like it, as you said. And so I started this is when I started screenshotting when I paid the bills. So I used to take cycling classes and I got the APS bill at like an X time. I got an email from the place that we live about how I didn't pay the bill because it was like I took too long to pay it. I paid it within the 24 hours because I didn't pay it right when she gave it to me. Like I was doing things, whatever. Like I was going to pay it, obviously. But then instead of like coming to me or being a patient bitch, hey, you didn't pay this. So I just replied to our community living with a screenshot of how I paid it. And they didn't ever say anything back because I paid it. You're just trying so hard to find something against me. That's what it's become. And then it turned into noise complaints. It was my birthday, February 21st. I got up, I got my makeup done. I went to Bath & Body Works, went to Dutch Bros, I went to Crumble, bought Crumble. And that
That's a different kind of beef.
That's a different story. That's a different kind of beef. And I'm driving, I go to my dorm at exactly, I pack my bag. I have music playing from my speaker. It's because it's the middle of the day. And mind you, they had been loud at this point, but I'm not petty enough to do a noise complaint, right? It's playing, whatever. It's for easily like 20 minutes. Max. I pack my bag, close my stuff. I thought I was going to go to dance. Dance got canceled, so I got in my car driving home. Okay. There was a knock on my door. And at this point, it was like hard on my door. I flinched. It was so aggressive that it just triggered my fight or flight. I didn't want to deal with it. Yeah. It's my birthday. It is the only time I did not answer my door. And I was just like, I don't want to do it. I want to go home. I'm leaving anyway. Who cares? Like, I'm not going to deal with them. I thought it was my roommates. I'm just going to go home. So I left. An hour later, I get an email about a noise violation, about how they came and knocked on my door. Sorry, they got my community living involved. And basically, through many emails that I'll stitch here, and when I went back and forth a little bit, they can't tell me who reported it or what it was. Yeah. All they said, it was an excessive noise violation for 20 minutes. Where I live, it's loud. It's just, that was a petty thing to do. I said, well, was it like through, like, I'm trying to like get it out of them. I was like, was it through like a closed window? Like, maybe I was like just trying to solve the issue of closing my window. It was the most passive back and forth with where I live. Like, as far as we're concerned, it wasn't through an open window, aka it was my roommates that reported it. And if they didn't report it, I hate you anyway. I was like, fine, you want to go down that road? Let's do it. I had called Kenzie the second I got it. I was just so frustrated and mad. Literally. So I decided from that point on that I was going to videotape every time they were, I was going to accumulate videos every time they were mad. So insert videos here. By the end, I sent a report and I never had an issue again.
Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
And I'm not going to put all of them in here.
22, 23.
I'll
23 videos,
just put
collectively.
I'll just put the good ones in, okay?
At ranging times.
At ranging
like
times.
6 p.m., 11, 20 a.m.,
like excessively loud. Like, not just like I can hear them, like excessively loud. Like the video does not capture how loud they were being.
No.
It's silent between us. We never talked again. They sent me the Venmo for the APS bill. I'm basically just getting through. I'm going to dance. They started inviting people over without asking me, obviously. But so I invited people over without asking. I would bring Lillian over, my other friend. Yep. Lillian, I brought her over and I was like, I dare you to complain. Dare you to complain. They didn't, luckily.
As you could tell, we're very exhausted at the end of this video, and I basically skip over the last few months. Luckily, there wasn't a lot to say. It was mostly just some petty things here and there, but we basically ignored each other's presence, which is all I wanted at the beginning. They just did way too much, and I did it back because I'm really petty. Guilty. But I think a really important moment to note that I totally forgot, and I'm not going to answer at the beginning of this video because it would make zero sense. But do you remember at the very beginning when we had that roommate meeting about the mom staying over? We all went to Chili's afterwards with Lily. And it was like that last hurrah before everything fell down into a dark hole. We went to Chili's. And we made this. Take a guess at what the problem is with it. There's a story behind this. Obviously, I found this at some point in like January or February, maybe around then, on the fridge. And it used to be on the fridge and it was just there. But eventually they had obviously scribbled me out. And then instead of like putting it up on display, they turned it around and put it on the side of the fridge to hide their shame. Because they can't even be petty without hiding it. Like, own up to it. Where's your balls? Where's your balls? So I had taken it. It's now my own like memorabilia. It's gonna go in the scrapbook. But something a part of this that I feel it needs to be mentioned. Every group is gonna have their jokes, and if they're part of certain minorities, they will say these certain jokes. But
If I'm not part of the minority, I don't make the joke. Lily is Asian. This fact is only important because they had wanted me to draw Lily with the yellow crayon. And I felt this needed to be brought up because this just shows you what kind of people they are. Lily didn't suggest the joke. They suggested the joke. And they're very white. And I had denied it, and I think I drew her blue. Just so you have a good picture of what kind of people they are. Oh, and the notes finally stopped when I started writing back on them, as encouraged by my mother, as you can see here. So, solved that problem. And then I fled. Right when school was done, I left. I dipped as fast as I could because even though my lease goes through summer, I do not want to be there all of summer. I went home and it was great. And the only issue I've had with them has been the passive-aggressive Oscar. To this day, still have not spoken to Oscar face to face or had a direct confrontation. To this day.
Like, can you speak? Speak normal. Speak like an educated adult.
They'll send me the Venmo request and I'll be busy doing things and I won't get to it for a few hours. Still the same day. And they'll send a reminder. Yep. Constantly. So I got petty right back and I would make sure I paid it at exactly midnight. 11:59. Just to be a bitch. Like, don't remind me. I see it. I'll see it. Literally. Give me a minute. Like, shit.
I'll fucking pay you. Don't worry.
Calm down. You'll get your money. It's in my contract.
It's in my contract.
I only retaliated because she had done it again. And I basically denied it and then sent the money so I can put a note on it. Thanks for the reminder of something I've never forgotten about. You're doing a great job.
You're doing great, sweetie.
And as of the end of this month, I never have to see them again.
Never!
Yes! Did it! Oh my God, this took so long.
We survived.
We've
survived. This could be an I survived book.
This could be an I survived book. So many people have been waiting for this video, like in between, like at birthday parties, gatherings. I one time went to dinner with like 2 of my uncles in January and like nobody can fathom this shit. It is genuinely so wild. I'm guaranteed I'm just summing it up.
Yeah.
This is
There's
a sum
things
up.
that got like
There's things that got lost in between, skimmed over. Like I didn't go in full depth about it. It just got to a point of such severe pettiness. I lived in my bedroom. I cooked my bedroom. All of my stuff was in my bedroom. I never went downstairs. I never got to really use my Keurig.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. I will be using it next semester. So next semester, we are leaving my roommates up to fate since clearly I'm really bad at picking them. I decided that I'm going to leave it out of my hands since my hands are fucking cursed towards narcissists. I don't know. This is what you've been waiting for. I'm so glad you have all the explanation now. And all my photo proof to prove that I'm not crazy. They are. So, in summary, please, hot girls.
Be mindful of who you live with.
Be mindful who you live with, and hot girls go to therapy. And I hope they go to therapy.
Oh.
Please.
Soon.
And Kenzie was here.
Through it all.
So thank you, Kenzie.
Of course.
Kenzie quite literally kept me alive. I probably would have jumped off a cliff without her.
100%. 100%.
In Polar Express, the fake happiness kept me going.
Yes.
In the kids. In singing Jingle Bells every day.
Oh my God.
That kept me going. Anyway, that's the wrap up. Thank you guys so much for listening to my very, very long rant. This is going to be on both YouTube and TikTok. Please pick your roommates, okay? Please.
Be smart.
Please.
Be cautious.
Please. Bye. Mwah.
You will never guess
where we are.
They're gone! Woo! Oh my God. This is the best thing ever. Oh my God. Guys, I moved everything to a big cabinet. I have a big ass drawer. And look who finally moved out of her bedroom. All of this used to be in my bedroom. I am so fucking excited right now. They're gone. They're gone. They're gone. They're gone. They're gone. My new roommate is gonna be super cool. I've met them and they seem super cool. So they move in soon. I'll never have to worry about that again. Let's go upstairs. Oh my God. Gone. Oh my God. I feel great. I feel great coming back home. And they're not here! Yay! I moved everything out of here except for my tea stuff because I do like to make tea in my room. I moved everything out of there. I moved everything out of here.
My closet just has like, that's not beer, by the way. That's a butter beer. This is what I meant by having trash can and shit in my room. This is so needed. I feel like I don't dread coming back here. Yay! Anyway, I am so excited that they're gone, and my new roommate moves in soon, and they're gonna be freaking awesome. We haven't been assigned 2 new roommates yet, so those bedrooms upstairs will be vacant. They're gonna be moving in right there, where fuck-ass Alexa used to be. And yeah, I'm so excited. Maybe this year will be better. Maybe. That is gonna be the conclusion of the roommate series. I'm glad it's over. Pray for me that it'll never happen again. This is the happy ending to the story. So you waited this long for the video. I'm so glad it's out. It's a happy ending. We're having a great time. And I'll actually be able to use this kitchen. Okay, I have an interview to get to, so I will make another video soon. All right, bye.